Every day it is a struggle to survive in these streets. So when I write, I put my mind, heart, and tears in these beats. I see music as a passion, not a way just to eat. If it brightens your day up, then I give it for free. I'm in a better situation than a lot of people. Doesn't mean that I'm better, nah, we still equal. You having problems, hold on, gotta see you through. Just believe in the Father, cause he believed in you. The love of God is everywhere, here we well connected. Go to a church near you if you need a blessing. And stop stressing, don't let the enemy steal your joy. Praise God anyway if you're unemployed. And the pain that you having in your lower back, anoint the area and pray that God can handle that. And if you worry about your kids and their way they living, speaking to the atmosphere that they all Christians. For the teens serving God, I know it's a battle. Fornication is an issue that a lot are having. Don't stop, keep striving, never give up. Just believe in your heart that God is with us. And for the low self-esteem trying to find truth, how you look, what you wear doesn't define you. You find who God made you must start remind you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, times two. This life it gets hard, so hard I can't breathe. But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. This life it gets hard, so hard I can't breathe. But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. Lord, I gotta give you glory in the way I'm living. Not only Sunday, but I live every day a listener. A lot of people want life on a silver platter, but I'd rather have life the same way you had it. God, I know I don't deserve all of the above, but my sins are forever washed in your blood. I can't thank you enough for all the things you do. Through faith, Lord, I put all my trust in you. It's hard, so hard I can't pray, but you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. This life is hard, so hard I can't pray, but you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. This life is hard, so hard I can't pray, but you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. This life is hard, so hard I can't pray, but you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need. Oh, you need to run that back. Oh, I like that. Good morning, good morning. Ty, what up, man? El Judah, I see you. Hey, I think it's important that we be transparent on this track, you know? Let the people see who we are. Let me talk to them. I want to give thanks to man and put his life on the line. My blessings divine, but how I put my life on these lines. Been hiding behind darkness like the curtains and blinds, but realized that I can shine without the curtains and blinds. Feel it's my time, that's why my living sicker than swine flu. Must I remind you that I felt like untied shoes, but I knew that I can be redeemed by the council. Had to get away from pride and hatred, had to bounce too. But I knew that fornication's something I would not do. But when you think you're strong in the area, he'll try you. I fell, Lord, because the strength I was using was not you. Was so wrapped into myself that I forgot you, but not you. You never forgive me, that's why I got to stay humble and keep my spirit clean from when it's not you. I know I'm so apologetic, but I feel I gotta be, cause I saw a side of me that I never thought that I'd see again. But that goes to show you that sin is lurking. But if you too wrapped up into it, you can miss your purpose. On purpose, Sunday morning service is when I worship. Won't read the Bible through my new week just to get a word in. Is it working? I can fake like my spirit's growing, but the truth is my spirit's longing for the moment to get intimate with the King that's giving me mercy. Ironic, I'm running from a man that I never felt. My heart broken and unappreciated. Trouble coping, less open drinks alleviated. At least in my mind, women at one time, condoms and line. Can't even say I was blind. Knew what I was doing, my life was so ruined. Flesh, I kept pursuing this fight I was really losing. Partying strange women, the only thing I was choosing. drinking and quake, thinking the only thing that was moving. Evil I ran from, I now ran to. Some things I never did, I automatically do. How did I get here? I don't have a clue. If I think back, I blame you. By His grace and mercy, I kept my fam. I'm being transparent, I hope that you understand. I want His anointing. Hold up, stop. Think twice before you even ask for what I got. See right? You see right? You see right? You see right? I'm a teddy bear tyrant. I'm a Somalian pirate. I'm a cellmate with cancer. I'm a rhetorical answer. Stand back so you can follow me. Listen to this track as I hollow me and put it on a buffet for you. Just trying to let my life play for you. So you can drink and you can dance to the miscegenation of lands. And I ain't crying victim of no circumstance. I'm more crying for the victims of my traveling pants. So I stood up, took a stance. No more my feet in Ruth's hands. Now they firmly planted in booth stands. I put my cape on and I turn into blues man. You'll be happy if this verse get killed. Me, I'm just happy that I'm not John Wilkes. The booth, where blood gets spilled and grown men get exposed for what's under that kilt. And really, we just some G-string dudes, good green, good drink.
You like that song? All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me get my flow.
Every day it is a struggle to survive in the streets. So when I write, I put my mind, heart, and tears in these beats. I see music as a passion, not a way just to eat. If you brightens your day up, then I give it for free. I'm in a better situation than a lot of people. Doesn't mean that I'm better, nah, we still equal. You having problems, hold on, gotta see it through. Just believe in the Father, cause He believed in you. The love of God is everywhere, and we will connect it. Go to a church near you if you need a blessing. And stop stressing, don't let the enemy steal your joy. Praise God anyway if you're unemployed. And the pain that you having in your lower back, anoint the area and pray that God can handle that. And if you worry about your kids and they waiting, speaking to the atmosphere that they all Christians. For the team serving God, how to miss a battle. Fornication is an issue.
I have a little fun. Let me get my feet more. Okay, Tasha.
Just believe in your heart that God is with us. And for the low self-esteem trying to find you, how you look, what you wear doesn't define you. You find who God made you must start remind you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Times two.
This life it gets hard, so hard I can't pray. But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need. This life it gets hard, so hard I can't pray. But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need. Lord, I gotta give you glory in the way I'm living. Not only Sunday, but I live every day a listener. A lot of people want life on a silver platter, but I'd rather have life the same way you had it. God, I know I don't deserve all of the above, but my sins are forever washed in your blood. I can't thank you enough for all the things you do. Through faith, Lord, I put all my trust in you. Hey.
Want you to dance?
But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know you're all I need.
Let me get my dance solo. Exercise.
It's hard, so hard I can't pray, but you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you have me, but I know
morning. Y'all wake up to positive vibes.
But you have blessed me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need. That's right. Get positive this morning. Wake up with a smile. If you're not smiling, it's because you had a horrible night's sleep. And if you had a horrible night's sleep, either you didn't go to bed on time or you had something on your mind. And if that is the case, then I recommend that you start to make some changes. That's good morning. Good morning. Oh, yes, I'm trying to let you start. Good morning. I can't hear you. I think your camera, your thing is low.
Let's see.
Turn it up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. Turn it up.
Hold on. You know.
Oh, maybe it's me. Oh, go ahead. Say it again.
No, I'm here. I said, all right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Monica. Nice to see you dancing. Oh my God. Practicing your wedding dances.
Yeah. You see, I didn't walk with the crutches this morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! How did that feel?
It felt good. I wasn't in pain or whatever. I just have to get used to it. I have to get used to being mobile again. You know, like I know I wasn't like I knew like it did hurt for me to put the pressure on my knee. Mm-hmm. You know, I have some sensation in my knee because I still have, the inflammation and everything, but it wasn't like before. If I walk and I wanted to put pressure on the knee, it would hurt. Like I would be like, oh no, I'm not taking that step. Like this is excruciating. But this time, so when I did it just a minute ago, I said, you know what, I'm gonna walk this morning back and forth. I think I did 3 times without the canes, and so I did. I think I was a little successful. I tried to stay upright. I have to go back and look at the video and do a little assessment, see where I am. See what I need to improve, because I have to go back and I have to look at it to see if because in my mind I might be think I'm standing straight, but then when I look at it, I'm like, oh.
So you looking fantastic in your yellow.
Yeah.
Sacred words, sacred speech.
Yeah, I watched a little Queen Afua yesterday. And so I watched her. She had a live on a Facebook Live yesterday. Queen Afua.
Yes, I missed it. Wow. Shoot.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of her yesterday. And so I'm like, I said, time to go. My phone had died. I was on time. My phone had died. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can hurry up and get downstairs, get the phone up and running, up and popping.
Look.
Ah! She got a blueberry oatmeal. Bam.
Make up funny faces. I'm going to try to stay calm and not make up my face. Well,
eat it.
I'm going to try.
You can do it. Let's be great this morning. Oh, what up? Like my trainer say, be nothing less than great. Let's be nothing less than great this morning. Where you at, Tasha? Good morning to the Air Force. She back there somewhere.
Hi, Tasha. I see. See?
Got my C-board. Yeah, baby.
I put the C-marks in it.
But the C-mark, yeah, I got mine in there already. I'm gonna
So next week, starting Monday, you guys have any dumbbells or water bottles or whatever? So I'm gonna add some dumbbells, some curls. My trainer said I need to add an exercise once a week, an extra exercise. I already did the squats.
You did?
Yeah. I make it.
Squat. I'm gonna keep missing the squats. No, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I did the squats. I did the 15. I actually okay, no big. I see you, Tasha. No problem. Tell Maddie chill out. We're gonna make Maddie start exercising with us. That's right, little lady.
I've been having difficulty not leaning over with my squats.
Yeah.
I think I'm scared.
Yeah. Oh, you scared? What you mean? I'm scared.
It's my little.
Okay, while you squat, then I'll stretch.
And be careful with the hop. That will mess up your leg that you're putting your weight on.
I'm gonna work on it.
Don't go fast. Take your time. We're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
I forgot the number I'm up to.
What number you on?
And
I'm stretching till you're done.
Hey. I'm on the balls of my feet. Like my
Okay.
Wait. I don't know how much I took.
That was 15?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't get any pains anywhere, so that's good.
Yay.
I didn't go too low this time. I wasn't trying to,
You say you didn't get too low?
Yeah, if I go, yeah, I was good. It's good, but I was feeling the.
Let me turn my chair around.
I love the yellow.
All right, y'all. That's right. So let's get this oatmeal popping. Give me some water.
Thank you for doing the stretches with me.
Yeah. Anything to give me a little extra, put some more pressure on him so I can feel pretty good.
I didn't stretch. I'm stretched.
Yep.
Really good. I love to say positively what?
Fearless.
Yes.
We went in today, baby. Up. I was so super exhausted yesterday because I had did the stream, get up in the morning, did the stream. I went to the flea market. Then I had to come back and do some tax work, and I had to cook. So I cooked some gumbo, seafood gumbo. It was so good. I was so hungry. I was eating like this. I was so sleepy. I was sitting back in the chair like, I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep.
What did you put in your seafood gumbo?
Shrimps, crabs, and I had some turkey. Well, I had the extra meat in there for my cousin. So I had sausage and chicken and sausage and chicken, turkey necks. So I had turkey necks, sausage, chicken, shrimps, and crabs. So the shrimps and crab, the seafood side was mine, and then the other stuff, yeah. And bell peppers, all the colors, the orange, the yellow, the green, red onion, garlic, parsley, and green top onions. And then I had some, that was all fresh. And then I had some dry herbs of all of those as well that I get from Louisiana, of course.
Right.
And then I had the season I use Louisiana Supreme from my friend Cedric Jackson in Louisiana. So he makes this Louisiana Supreme, and what's called Louisiana Love is another season.
Mm. Is that like hot peppers in there in that Louisiana Love?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's hot pepper is like
no. Just it's bland. It's like a
it's like the herb seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like it's like an all season.
Okay.
It's like that. It's grind up like that.
Okay.
The Zydeco Cha-Cha is a herb, dried up, flaky herby.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to have that flavor. And then the flour and water, but I didn't do it from scratch. I did the Savoy mix, which is all Louisiana. All of that is Louisiana homegrown.
I gotta check that out. I'll look it up. I'll look up the ingredients.
Yeah, I sent you the picture.
Thanks.
But you can see a gumbo. Remember I was talking yesterday, I went looking for vegan Cajun meals, Creole meals.
Mm-hmm.
And so really all of the meals actually can be, with the only thing you're really removing is the rice, the pasta, the rice and the pasta, because and just take out meat. The rest is seafood. All the ingredients stay the same because we cook with a lot of herbs.
Right.
I don't cook with salt. Hey, Melanie the Goddess, and if you want to be on the Zoom, I can send the link. So the challenge is, let me put up the flyer again, and I can show you all. All right. So how the challenge goes is, I'm doing 60 days. Oh, let me plug in hold on. Let me plug in the laptop real fast. I'm doing 60 days. We on day 7. And these are the things that I'm working on. Eating less calories, stretching at least 3 times a day, doing 15 squats, walking at least 5,000 steps daily, and drinking at least 8 glasses of water. Now, you could implement whatever health product or food that you would like to do, or whatever exercise. Maybe you walk more. You could walk more. You could get more than those 5,000 steps in. But that's just my goal and what I'm working on in reference to my situation. So whatever works for you. I also add the oatmeal in the mornings. So we have our oatmeal and we have our sea moss added to the oatmeal. You could eat whatever breakfast makes you feel good. Sea moss is the key ingredient that we highlighted and that we added. And this is who I purchased mine from. Taste the Discipline Dynamic 3D, which is my trainer, my coach. And that's the information. So yeah. So that's what that's the challenge. Now, you might say, now, that don't seem like much of a challenge. Well, 6:30 a.m. for Monique Lamb. Not a morning person, never have been. Military, couldn't train that. They could. That's one thing I couldn't get brainwashed with, was getting up early in the morning. So 6:30 a.m. is a huge challenge for me, especially since I retired. I know I don't have to get up, and I know I don't have to do anything if I don't want to, and so I would stay asleep. So 6:30 a.m. is a huge challenge. That's the first one for me. The second one, I don't like oatmeal. I absolutely never ate oatmeal.
I'm almost finished with my 3 cup.
Oh my God, I'm done.
I can't. I've been having small spoons. I'm like, this is good for starters. Then tomorrow I'll have 4. My son, my
So-
son was like this.
As you can see, I try to dance my way around that oatmeal. And I have at least 3 bottles to start this morning. And these are actually 16 ounces. So I suspect if 8 glasses is 8 ounces, so I guess I'm getting at least 6 right now. So I'm almost there. One more would give me the 8. I'm not at the 4 one yet. I'm still getting through the 3.
When they say glasses of water, they're only talking about 8 ounces.
8, right? Yeah. So it's
8
16
ounces of water per glass.
Right. So if I got 16, so it's 2, 4, 6. I'm at 6 ounces. 12 ounces right now.
Oh, okay.
Not 12. I'm sorry.
Ounces. You're doing 16. You're doing
Yeah, 2, 4, 6. That's 4 cups. 8. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. 6 cups. So I got 2 more to go. 2 more cups to add to that morning regimen. So I'm getting there. You said why oatmeal? Well, I have a trainer, and that's what he chose for me to eat. So I'm just following my coach's lead. You could choose whatever health breakfast you want. I think Angie started off with something different. She started off with just teas, right? Liquids.
Yeah, just the tea with just sea moss and tea.
Right. So, and Tasha is eating fruit and her sea moss. I think Chanisa started. I think she did the oatmeal, and I think Latrice is doing a gave, or something like that. Agave. Yeah. What is that?
Agave.
Yeah. What is agave?
It's the nectar from a flower.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweeter than honey, actually.
So Latrice is doing that, and I know some other ladies. They're in, and I'm not exactly sure what they're eating in the morning. But my coach, my trainer, that's what he chose for me. So you don't have to do the oatmeal. You can do whatever, your heart desires. The whole idea is that you get up and you eat breakfast. You eating more than one time a day or no times a day. I wasn't getting enough meals in. So that's a challenge. So I had to up that. So I have a lot to work on. It's paying off though. I see mine. I didn't even put any oil or lotion or anything in my face this morning. So I want you guys to see all of the properties.
Gorgeous.
And nutrition, that's coming out of these pores. If you go back and look at some of my pictures, you can see a huge difference. Huge difference. I was looking at a picture we took in, Tasha and I took in, and Sherry took in Cancun. I was like, oh man, that face was, it wasn't like super horrible, but you could tell the difference. You could tell the different blotches and dark spots, and I was wearing Mary Kay, what's that stuff called? It's like a foundation, but it wasn't the foundation. It was just like something, whatever that stuff called. You could tell I was makeup, right? Yeah, it was like a foundation though, to smoothen out my complexion. Mm-hmm. I was wearing that a lot, and I haven't touched it, whatnot. I don't even know what it is. Since my complexion started coming out and that skin looked like it's glowing and it's popping. So yeah, that's how that's going. So yeah, sis, melanated goddess, jump on in there and let's get it in. And the challenge goes. Go ahead.
Mary Kay has one of the best, actually, one of the top skincare regimens. So if you're doing that foundation with the cleanser first, the 3, the moisturizer, and then put in I have it so bad.
I said if I added that, man, I have it in there. I do have the hotel. I had just ordered it right before I started doing the tea tree soap, the tea tree sea moss soap. I was getting ready to use it because it just came in the mail, and I didn't use it. I wanted to see what the soap does. So if I add that,
And tea tree heals very quickly. It's a healer, antibacterial, fungal. It heals very quickly. It's good. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, that is super great. Yeah, so I want to let you guys see the transformation. You see my picture in the background? Don't quit. Do it. Don't quit. Don't quit. Okay? See the transformation. See how everything is going so that I won't get to the end result. And then you all can't, when I tell the story, you can't relate. I want you to be able to relate to the story the entire time. So when I really give you the business, you could be like, wow, I remember when. She's not lying. She's telling the truth. Yep. So I played the song. Okay, let's see. She said, sounds great. I've been doing kind of hard since the beginning of the year. I alternate with doing intimate fasting that speeds up metabolism. Yes, yeah. So you should join us since you're on a mission as well. You should join us. Let me put the link in the chat just in case. Just in case somebody want to pop in. You know how y'all do. Y'all want to get it in. We're not having no debates though. Not today. We ain't debating. We share information, but we're not doing that. That's not what we're here for. Right? Y'all could join Garfield on Mondays. We can talk about it.
We're gonna have to have a timer when the guys come on. We're gonna have to have a timer. I talk long too with the
yes, indeed.
You know, ding 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 ding, time out.
2-minute warning.
Sorry, you got right. Sorry, you got 5 seconds left.
Sir, you got 5 seconds left. Yes, because they could go, boy. They been getting it in. I said, woo, they talk about us. Huh.
I loved it though. I love it because there's always a balance. It's always about balance. So you get to hear 2 different sides and you get to, weigh it out yourself. It's good. It's actually really great.
Yeah. And we so I started off with the song "This Life Is Getting Hard, So Hard I Can't Pray. You would bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need." So I appreciate you all because I need y'all. I need all the support I can get. I know y'all see the smile, but woo, boy, look at here. This morning, when that phone, I had woke up. It was my nephew woke me up out of my sleep. I don't even think he went to sleep. And it was like 4:22 or something. And I had a little charge on my phone. And so I worked on something and I said, boy, if I laid my head back down, my phone not charged, everything's downstairs. I don't want to go downstairs. I am going to be in trouble. And I just so happened I popped up at 6:22. I was like, yeah, get myself together, get on down, and get going. Because I do not want to have no mishap. Be like, oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Nope. I'm gonna push this 60. I'm gonna push this 60 or whatnot. So I put the music on. I said, oh, I knew you was up, Angie, because I see you posted the chat.
I saw my alarm goes up at 6:15. I cracked up because it felt like I just went to sleep, and I was like, oh, I cracked up. I said, let me get up and get that oatmeal and water.
Yeah. Oh, you did water this time, not milk?
I did the oatmeal yesterday, but with the sea moss, I don't need the milk actually. With the sea moss gives it the creamy, because I have my sea moss is blended, right? And it's actually like liquefied, and so it's a little gel type. And sea moss could get a little frothy too. So it kind of gives it almost a creamy look, right? It's really you definitely don't need the milk. Sea moss can replace that easily.
Mm.
Yeah. It's just cinnamon I put cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. The good vanilla.
Go ahead with your dad stuff. I'm cheating. I got the Instapack.
What's that?
I just got the Instapack. I just
Oatmeal?
Yeah, buy it in the bag, pour it in a cup, put some water, put it in the microwave.
Mm.
I'm
It's like it's less than 5 minutes to actually cook it. You don't have to cook it till it's till it's too soft, and the hot water will actually cook it more while it's sitting.
I never really cooked it, so I don't really have experience with making, and I have to practice it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna cheat this one. You can get some instant one, pop in the microwave, keep moving. Yep.
Yeah, I want to graduate from the microwave because
I know
that's doing us no good. But it's I put like 2 cups of water. I boil it with the cinnamon, with the nutmeg, a little I would put a dash of salt, but cinnamon, nutmeg, and then when it boils, I pour a lot of oatmeal in there. I don't really measure it. I kind of pour it until I see it kind of peak at the top. Stir it a little, let it boil for about 3 minutes. Basically stirring, and then it's not like the cream of wheat, where with the cream of wheat you have to keep stirring, and so it doesn't get lumpy.
Yeah.
So like that one is the oatmeal basically is like I said, it cooks fast. You don't have to like cook it very, very long. And then you could add your sweetener to it. It's almost like making tea.
Yeah,
if you want to sweeten.
I have some, and I have cream of wheat in the cabinet. I just have to do better with the breakfast thing. I'll get in the kitchen and take my time and cook a regular meal, but breakfast I'm like, oh God. Probably because I never really had time to do it. All those years in the military, by this time we would be almost done with PT. I'd have to be out there like 6:15 to be in formation by 6:30, trying to find all my little soldiers, trying to figure out where they at. Get out there, run, do whatever we doing, and finish at 7:30. By the time you get home, 7:45, 8, or you go to the gym, you gotta clean up, alternate or whatever, or you at home. By the time you finish, it's 8:45. Gotta drive to work, gotta be there by 9, gotta check all your people. I miss breakfast or, oh well. And then I was in finance customer service, so I had to, every day was a holiday, non-stop busy. Sometimes we miss lunch. Horrible. If I did eat, it was on the fly. And even afterwards, working as an auditor, going out in the field, trying to get the audit done so you could get back on time. Sometimes we drove 2 hours away, sometimes we drove an hour away. I did like 13 audits out of the year, so sometimes I did to do it once a month, and eating on the fly.
Coffee? You would have a lot of coffee. You're a coffee drinker? So what was your energy during that time? What did you use to fuel your body?
Sunflower seeds.
No, not at that time. Good morning, child.
Good morning.
I didn't eat sunflower seeds when I was in the military or when I worked. I started eating sunflower seeds when it was just this year, I think. I started eating those sunflower seeds like crazy.
No, you've been eating them sunflower seeds like crazy since I've known you, because every time we traveled back to Louisiana, you have to have your sunflower seeds driving.
Only when we driving. Like now I do it every day. When we would drive, yes, I'll have sunflower seeds and Red Bull. I got that from my friend Chris. He's a truck driver. Sunflower seeds and Red Bull. That's how I would get through. I would be wired. And listen, you knew if you were asleep in the car, you knew when I got to Louisiana border because I pump up, tuck up. I turn
the music would change.
Yes, all the music.
At times she crossed the state line, the music would change.
I had 2 hours there. I would Louisiana, everything from Master P to Chopper to J. Paul, Lil Nate, Cupid, Tucker, Pokey Bear.
All of them. Oh, I'm very rude. Good morning, everyone. I'm still under the weather, so that's why I don't have my camera on. But I woke up, I said, okay, at least I could get on for moral support, but I don't know what happened. I think Jonah gave me his cold flu or whatever. That's my grandson. So I'm thinking, and it didn't affect him. He just, whined maybe for half a day, and the rest of the time he's running around like he's crazy. It's only a year and a half, but I'm over 25, so it affect me a little different. But the thing is, I could be feeling worse, but I know why I'm not feeling as bad as I usually would feel. But when I got the flu or a bad cold, and it's because I have the nutrients and antioxidants in my body. So, I mean, it's affecting me. It did take me down for a couple of days, but it didn't take me down as bad as it would have. So, hopefully, I'll be back on with y'all in the morning. I had to take these 2 days for me to rest so I could get over it. But but I've been drinking my water more. I didn't do 8 bottles yesterday. I did 4, so I didn't get the gallon in. I did get the half gallon in. Yes.
My goal is not a gallon. Mine is 8 cups. So you high five to you because you succeeded. You exceeded the goal.
Well, I thought you said we had to get 8 bottles in a day because 8 bottles. I looked it up. I was like, how many bottles does it take to make a gallon?
8 ounces. Oh, I said bottles. I meant
8 bottles. So I was like, oh, I thought she was doing the gallon a day. I do those. But see, it got easy for me because of doing those 3 in that first hour, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I do those 3, and then maybe about midday I'll do 2 more, and then later on in the evening I'll do 2 more.
Oh,
so that's 7 bottles, and so then 1 bottle right before I go to bed.
Okay.
So that's how I would get that gallon in.
Okay.
So, I thought you was doing that gallon. I was like, go Mo, let me figure this out. Let me get this gallon in.
Honey, you're a trooper. I didn't get the gallon.
But it's helping me lose. It's helping me lose because it's funny. The more water you drink, the more water weight you lose. It seems as an oxymoron, but it's true, and it's helping me lose in that midsection that I need to lose. So the more water you drink, the more you lose weight. We'll get rid of those toxins that's sitting around in your gut and everything. So yeah.
So I heard you had more nutrients, which is helping you fight off.
Yep.
Tell us about your nutrients.
Girl, this sea moss ain't no joke. Because I still got to send you that picture. I didn't forget. But I've been doing the sea moss smoothie. That's my 3rd. So 3 weeks because I'm on my 3rd half gallon. So it's been 3 weeks. And but right before I started, well, probably about the same time, I started doing the gel too. But I was supporting another friend of mine, this girl I grew up with. She does the gel. That's where I'm getting the gels from. But and I would I eat hot cereal. So I have oatmeal, or I do cream of wheat, or I do farina, or I do oat bran, one of those hot cereals, and I would put my 2 tablespoons in the cereal. Um, or if I make me some eggs, like scrambled eggs,
Mhm.
I would put like a teaspoon in my scrambled eggs when I cook it, as I'm cooking it. But I drink, oh goodness, I drink about a little more than 8 ounces of that sea moss smoothie every day. Because I really don't measure it out. I just don't do a full cup. I may do a little bit over half a cup, but I do it every day. At some point in the day, I'm drinking that, So I know that if I wasn't, I wouldn't be up right now. You wouldn't be able to hear my voice. It would be more scratchy than what it is now. And I'd just be under the covers like, I wish somebody should have cooked me some food. I wouldn't be able to get up and get my own.
You don't know how bad my trainer walks through that door. I'd be like, "Can you make that oatmeal for me?" Or whatnot. But I know he'll be like, "Nope."
Mm.
I don't get no pass.
but that's CMOS like that. If anyone's doing any research on it, it has 92 of the 102 nutrients that your body needs. So, if you don't have some kind of health regimen where you're getting all your vitamins, your minerals, antioxidants, your C's, D right now, oh my God, with this pandemic going, if you don't raise your vitamin D level, your zinc level, and your vitamin C level, there's another one. I always forget what it's called. It's a mineral, starts with a Q. If you don't raise those levels, is it'll you're more susceptible of contracting the virus. From what I've learned is that those who it does really, really bad, those ones that's been on the ventilators and stuff like that, they have the common thing with everybody is they have a vitamin D deficiency. So, and it's hit it really bad in the winter right now. I mean, because ain't nobody going outside getting that natural vitamin D from the sun because it's cold. No one wants to go outside and stand in the cold for 30 minutes just so they can get their vitamin D, right? So, that's a supplement, or there is, if you look and see which foods are rich in vitamin D and stuff, and you increase that. So that's why I say if I didn't have the nutrients in me that I've been getting, I would not be doing. I'd be doing worse than what I'm doing right now. Because I would not even think about being woke this time of morning and trying to talk to somebody. Because I'll be texting Mo about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking, but this cold or flu or whatever done got me.
Angie, you want to speak to the vitamin D deal or the new, some things, some places are how to get more vitamin D and all that great stuff.
Salmon, aside from your sea moss, aside from you got salmon, sardines. I mean, fresh. What is another source of vitamin D? Guess what? If you're Muslim, then you know that navy beans. They call
Yep.
that edible vitamin D. Navy beans. Not every. Some people don't do the starchy things. But I want to try those navy beans too.
Navy beans, they're like lima beans, butter beans, or whatever, wherever region of the country you're from, that's what they're like. And get the start. Now, this I learned watching my mom and grandmother cooking, dry beans or whatever. You soak them. When you soak them before you cook them, for a good little while, and you'll see the water get cloudy. That's because you're drawing out that starch. That's why they would do it. They would draw out so they won't be so starchy when you cook them. And I mean, I like navy. I like just about all beans. And I soak mine before I cook 'em. Then I cook mine in the crock pot. I that's just I've mastered cooking them in the crock pot versus them being on the stove or whatever. Because if I gnaw it off, they're not gonna burn in the crock pot. They're gonna burn on the stove. but yeah, so I cook all my beans, in the crock pot. Cook them slow. You know, if I put seasonings or herbs, as I was listening yesterday. I wasn't on, but I was listening. Um, um, Put, like, the pepper, and I start using pink Himalaya salt. I've noticed the difference. So I use that salt and ground pepper. I put maybe a little onion powder, garlic powder, you know, until I can get my fresh cloves of garlic. I don't know how I forgot those at the grocery store. But, or I'll chop up onions, chop them up really fine and put those in there. And I just let them cook, slow cook for about a good 4 or 5 hours. And if I need, like, if I do a meat or something, I will do turkey. So I stopped doing pork for seasoning a long time ago, but I would use turkey. You know, just the smoked turkey, just to give it that flavor. And if you use a smoked meat, you don't have to use salt because that smoked meat has the salt on it. And that I had to find out the hard way because my stuff was too salty. I couldn't. I said, "Oh no, I can't do this." So if I'm using a smoked meat, I don't put salt in whatever I'm putting it in because that salt flavor or whatever, it'll come out through the meat. So, but navy beans, yeah, I got a cabinet full of beans, and
Yeah, I love. Go ahead, Angie.
No, I'm just thinking the the length of cooking time, it might be something I might not try because I do try to have a lot of live foods. Being with my training with the Sacred Woman, I try to do a lot more live foods. But yeah, that's just another source of vitamin D though.
What?
That's the navy beans.
Navy beans.
Yeah.
Oh, navy! I love navy beans. I like beans. Y'all know where I'm from. I like food.
And you're very active, so that's good. Like I was telling you before, anything that's starchy, and I'm saying starchy because of being a hybrid, that it not being, you know, um, totally organic, but the anything when you have those things, remember I said the people who eat it like it's because it's glue. It lines your system.
Mhm.
It sustains you for long periods between meals. So if you're not exercising, not good. But if you're very active, like you ladies are, then I wouldn't see it be too much of a problem. Men that are suffering like from prostate cancer, like that are from the Caribbean, I would tell them that you're used to having a diet that's a lot of starch in the diet, lots of rice, lots of provisions, roots, and meaning like cassava, um, uh, yam, gourd, and all these different types of things that are starchy. Um, the thing about it is they in the islands and in Africa, or if you're from tropical places, you have a lot of you still have a lot of ground to work on. So that's good for us. That helps you work out all of those starches. But here, everything is paved, everything is flat. And that's where people start to have issues with having their colons and their intestines lined and packed up with these starches. And that's where I believe the problem with the cancer starts to develop. It's not easy to cook to cleanse the colon or to cleanse naturally. I'm not saying not with an additional manipulation or some kind of a laxative or having to have a special food to get rid of your food, to get rid of that food that's packed in your system. Yeah. So I knowing that I'm very sedentary, I try to stay away from starches. I don't have that. I rarely eat rice. I have very small servings of it. And I'll probably have more protein than anything. That's it.
Yeah, well, it took me a minute to get the rice out of my system, to not have it all the time. Yeah, have like a little bit. So I started seeking out the cauliflower as a substitute.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, they already have crushed up like rice in the grocery store, whatever, or you could crush it up, cook it and crush it up yourself. And it actually worked. It gave, if you were just looking for that feel, then it worked. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, because I have to have my red beans there. Sausage, turkey sausage. So and if I get the craving, that's right. When it's almost time for me to go home, if I know I'm gonna go home, and it's almost time for me to travel to Louisiana, that kitchen is nothing but Creole. So I had to find all kind of substitutes to kind of stay on it.
Listen, you had to wean yourself.
Oh man, I am super bad. Melanie got it said, well, Harry said, cooking with coconut milk and seasoning for natural, cooking with coconut milk and seasoning for natural season. So I suspect he's saying, the coconut milk will give, you agree?
Yeah, coconut milk, definitely.
Yeah, I've never cooked coconut milk, but I guess I could try. And then Melody got it said, when I was a vegan, I pretty much a starchitarian. So I had to make a change from that. Yeah, because I noticed a lot of people who are vegan, they eat a lot of pasta and a lot of rice. They just, only thing they did was just cut out the meat, but I didn't think that was healthy, And and even when I try to go get some vegan meals, I try to stick to just the veggie ones because some of that stuff is like a lot of sodium, a lot of salt. That drives me crazy. I can't take. I had someone meal prepping for me one time. Oh, I'm glad I only tried one because I absolutely hated it. I hated it. I was like, and so I wanted to do just fresh salads. A friend of mine, she's a caterer, and she was doing the fresh salads for me. And I think someone either caught COVID or got really sick, so I had to get back with her. And she's like, I can implement some other things, meatless. And I was like, no, just salads. Don't prepare me no meals, no vegan meals, meatless meals, unless I go and pick it out myself. And the only meatless stuff I like is the meatballs. I don't like the meatless meat. Oh, I like the cauliflower chicken nuggets. I like those. Yeah.
Guess what you could use? What? I love kale. And I barely cook it. I just probably blanch it. So what I do is add fennel seed.
Who seed?
Fennel, Fennel. Fennel seed is good.
Oh, that's what that is.
It's good for the liver, and it also suppresses the appetite. Fennel seed suppresses the appetite. So I add a lot of fennel seeds, and I add flax.
Flaxseed? Flax.
Flax.
Yeah, flaxseed, yeah.
Flax is great for the filler. Like if you need to, you can put it on your kale. I added flax and fennel, so it tastes a little nutty. It makes the kale taste a little nutty, and it gives it a nice flavor because the fennel has a nice I don't know if it's a spice. It has a nice flavor to it though. So, and I put olive oil, the first cold press extra virgin olive oil. I use that on it, and cayenne pepper and turmeric. Ah, I love it. I love putting up the either I try to not use the powder as much because again because of chemicals that they use when they're processing the powder. But I usually have garlic, turmeric. Oh yeah.
Man, you such a healthy.
No, I wish I just bought some kale and I have it in the fridge, and sometimes it will be in the fridge and it'll just be there and I'll just be looking at it like, I'm gonna do something. It'll just stay there until it's not good anymore. So that I'm not that like I think I know what's good for me, but when you talk about when we do need those affirmations that you say we have to repeat them constantly because we do self-sabotage, and I definitely do a lot of self-sabotage. So doing that, we don't own the phrase of don't own being quote unquote bad, because you're changing, you're working, you're building, you're growing, and you love it. It loves you. You understand that? You have to have those types of affirmations, even with money. I love money. Money loves me. Money wants me. I saw a cute video about that the other day. Money wants me.
I used to attend the church. They used to say, "Money coming to me now from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west." And listen, when I be at the flea market, sometimes I be like, "Money come to me now. I need to buy this jewelry now. I need to make this much money." I look again, them sales start flowing. So
yes. That's very good for us. I have to look up I forgot why. I just know it's really good for women, but it's good for everyone. But it's good for filling, and it makes you feel full. And then the consistency of it, you feel like you ate, that texture. So it's good.
Yeah. Melanie Gotti says, she says, my favorite plant is plantains. She said, I need the ancestors' help with resisting some fried plantains. So OMG. And she says, those salads from Costco's with salad dressing really helps out. Oh yeah, the ones that's pre-made. Yep. I get those. I like a few of those. I'll run through them though. I'll run through them.
Salad.
Angie, I think someone told me years ago about flax seeds, being good for women, and I was looking it up, and it's good for especially I'll say those of us over the age of 35. It's good for lubrication. Because when you're going through menopause, you lose some of that lubrication, so it makes having relations kind of difficult. Some marriages they suffer because it hurts. So it's good for us to keep us lubricated. That's what flax seeds is good for. That flax seed, because the oil in there. And my grandmother, she used to tell me all the time that any kind of seed or nuts or something like that, is that it's good for us for oil, because when I was younger, and I thought it was so funny when I was a little girl, I would do like squats, not knowing that I was doing squats because I was just being facetious, and I would hear my knees crack. My knees would always crack, like when you crack your knuckles or something like that. And so I did that. I said, Grandma, look, and listen, my knees are cracking, and I thought it was funny. And she was like, you need to eat more seeds. And I like sunflower seeds, but not like how I didn't like the ones with the shell. I had to become an adult to like the ones with the shell, but I would eat the sunflower seeds without the shell, and I would just eat those because I love those. And then I'll eat more almonds and more peanuts or whatever. But that flax seed is good for women. For I know that's one of the reasons why it's good for us.
Right. Lubricating the joints too, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some of that. And I used to take flaxseed, but I want to slide.
All right, slide. Yeah, slip right on out. Talk about slide, you slip right on the way.
Yeah,
I didn't know nothing about slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be going through this menopause. I'm like, when is this thing gonna stop?
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you that because I've just gone through it. Praise God, hallelujah. See, COVID kept me from having my men all Paul's party. Cause I sure was gonna have a party. But when you go a complete year without your menstrual cycle, that's when menopause is over. Now you may still, I still get some of the night sweats, not a lot, and I still get hot flashes, but not like I used to. But when you go a full year without that cycle, you can go, praise God, hallelujah, it is done. Thank you, Jesus. Because it fooled me a couple of times. I thought I was right there. I was like, oh man, if I just go this month without, I'm good. Man, that little monthly visitor showed up. I was hot. I'm like, damn, I gotta count all over again.
I really, really, really miss a cycle. But let me say something that I learned from Queen Afua again.
Oh Lord, I ain't never missed it. When I first started, I wanted it to go away the next day. No.
Go ahead. Before I did Sacred Woman, before I did that class, my cycle, my period used to last 7 to 8 days.
Yeah.
And then we were having more live foods, and we were fasting. I chose a juice fast. So I was doing green juice, some teas, some rarely teas, because it's supposed to be live food. So we had green juice, meaning something with water with spirulina, chlorophyll in our water, and fruits, greens, blah, blah, blah. But the more fasting that we did, the less days were on my period. By the time I graduated Sacred Women, my period would last 3 days.
What?
Wow.
3 days. And then after Sacred Women, it stayed like that for a very long time. And I started to reincorporate things back in the diet because the rest of my family, because remember I have 7 children, so I'm cooking.
Babies.
Yeah. So it's hard to get everybody in the same diet. Everybody eats different in my house. Everybody was eating different food. So I started going back into my everyday stuff. And then now it came back to the 7 days. So that's when I know, got to get back to the live food, got to get back to the fasting and letting my bodies be more regular. But now with the menopause thing, I've never missed a cycle. I never missed a period yet. So I'm asking my doctor, when is this going to start? He said this should have started when you were 35 years old. But it also tells me that, that my diet has such a big thing to do with it. Some people believe that the menstruation is not something that's natural. It started as we started to incorporate more cooking into our diet.
Really?
So, I'm talking going back, because what Sacred Women does is they follow the Ramesh diet, the Kemetic diet.
I'll be right. Gotta go to the restroom. Water's coming out. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, but for I started really, really early, as far as being premenopausal or perimenopausal, I started that in my 30s, my mid to late 30s, because I was like, always getting those hot flashes. It felt like somebody was pouring a bucket of heat on me. It was like ridiculous. Oh my God. And then when I was in my 40s, mid 40s, heading to my 50s, it got really, really bad. You know, I would just stand. I could be, you know, I was be at work, whatever, and I would just have to stop because all of a sudden it just, I'm like, who poured this heat on me? You know, and start sweating and everything. And I was like, I'll be glad when I'm done. I'll be glad when I'm done, you know. So, and I found out, I was like, when am I going to be done with this? You know. So when I had to look it up because I'm a researcher by nature. So I had, you know, look it up. Okay, and I found out it's like when you go a complete year, then you're done. You're done. Now you still can, like I say, I still have hot flashes every once in a while. It's not bad like every day, 3 and 4 times a day. I feel like I need to go stand in a freezer or something or whatever. But yeah, and it usually, like when it starts, not counting the perimenopausal part of it, not you usually, menopause lasts anywhere like from 10 to 15 years. So when I started it, when I knew that I had started it, I was like, okay. So by the time I'm about 50, you know, I was looking at 50, 51, I was like, I should be done. I got 50, 51. That's when I had to start counting all over again. I'm like, what am I doing with a cycle? I'm too old to have a cycle. What is this thing doing? You know? So, but I did it. I've been like over it for going on 2 years now. And I'm happy. I'm like, psh, all right, man. I don't miss it because I had long cycles, very irregular, and cramps was killing me. My cramps were so bad I had to crawl on the floor. I couldn't walk. So I was like, I'll be so glad when this is over.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny growing up. Most girls were scared when they missed their period because they thought they was pregnant. When I missed the period, I was like, yay, maybe it's done. Nah, I came back next month. I was like, shoot.
I missed one actually for the first time like last month. And then this month it seemed like it came out, it was longer. This was and I basically was in bed like all last week, all the week before. My mother's like, that doesn't, you don't have that, you know, that long. But so again, I think it's because of the inconsistency of the food, of how I'm eating. So I bought a whole bunch of fruits and then the kale and the lettuce, so I can have more live food. It makes a difference. So even like ordering a bottle of a jar of spirulina, it helps. The spirulina, it has a long shelf life, and that alone would help to, you know, to get the enzymes into your body. Get enzymes into your body. Enzymes help your food to digest properly and guide the food to the right, guides the nutrients to the right places in your body where you need them. So spirulina, I mean, to me, spirulina, sea moss, same. You know, I don't think that, I think sea moss, I don't think, even though we do, some people cook it for a long time, we don't have to cook it. We could just put it in the blender actually. But since it's like a plant, it's like, you know how you can have a plant and it takes a long time before it browns, before it actually dies all the way. You still see the chlorophyll. They'll still have cells in there, like alive plant cells alive in there. And that's what makes it good, easy to digest. That's what I believe, but we could look that up and check it out. But yeah, so the length of the menstruation is definitely connected to how you're eating and exercising. I'm trying to. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
While you think about that, let me plug in a little commercial.
Okay.
This is our this is Deshandra's Instagram page. If you all go to the Instagram page, make sure that you go to her bio and click the link, and you can vote for her. We'll make sure that we support.
Deshanda.
Right. She's currently in fifth place, so let's get her up there to number one. I'm gonna post the link in the chat, in the Dagger Squad YouTube chat, and on the Facebook. Vote for our sister. She's in the chat right now. Vote for her. Let's see her win the competition. Put the link in there. We have to support each other. So boom. So when you go to it, go to the bio, click the link, and you can vote here. When you click there, let's see if it'll let me log into Facebook and see if I can do it live. All right.
Many times is you can.
Yes. Vote. Okay, guys, vote. We need your support. Get out there and vote for the sister on Instagram. So you go here, you can log in with your Facebook. Let's see, I voted with the dollars the last time. Let's see how it works. So let's say you do, so let's see. I can't do it live, okay? Y'all mess around. Been a rob Miss Silly. So get out there and vote for a sister. All right. Let me go back. Close it. Go up. I screwed up something. So, yep. So for those of you who do not know who she is, here she is. She's aspiring to be this awesome, great bodybuilder. Let's see if we can find some pictures with her trophies. There she go in the gym. There's the transformation. She's doing great work. She's down there in Florida. Anyone looking for a trainer? There's the sister. There's her in competition on the stage. Check her out. She got style. She's doing her thing or whatnot. One free vote daily for 4 days. So you can vote every 4 days. You say, what do they win? Sister Deshandra, she'll put it in the chat. What does she win? So make sure you go and vote. One free vote every 4 days. So here it is. Here's the transformation. You could go to her Facebook. Go to my Facebook account. There is a video. You may have to. Okay, let me see if I can find it. There she's showing you her entire transition. Just her in the gym. Okay. She's getting it in. She's working for real. It's her getting a tattoo. She crazy. I ain't doing no tattoos, buddy. You can have that one. I can't do it. But what that? That's the full transformation.
Wow, she's amazing.
She's killing it, man. Look at that. Oh, there go the trophies. That's what I wanted to see. Look at those beautiful awards.
Look at that figure. She's amazing.
Yeah. Man, listen, my thighs, my butt start to look like that. Watch out. Oh, my goodness.
That Coca-Cola bottle shape.
Yeah, she works hard, man. She works hard. I don't even know what these things. I wish she had a bigger. Next time, Deshandra, when you win, we need to see a whole, I want to see what's on your medals. Those are huge. She said Ink Magazine is a tattoo magazine. If you win overall, through 5 rounds, you would be on the cover and 25,000 grand prize. Let's go. Vote. We want to see her get this 25K and be on that magazine so we can have some bragging rights.
Yes.
Let's go. Yes. She gets to be on the magazine. She gets to get 25K. So we need all of you all out there. Supporting. Support. Okay. And I'm showing you, that's her in the gym. Let's see her work. Look at this. Let's see the work. Man. She's getting it in, y'all. That, hey, what they say? I ain't doing this for nothing. Hey, this how it works. You gotta work for it. You want that body, you gonna have to come and get it.
See the size of those plates on there? Oh
yes,
my God.
I see the size of them plates. Look at them plates. Look at them dumbbells. Man, listen. You better work for it. You gotta come work for it, okay?
Those are fancy squats.
Fancy. You fancy, huh? You fancy, huh? Woo. Let me see if she got some more with the workout video. Man, she kicking butt. Oh, it's the
total transformation there.
I just want to walk on the beach in a thong like that. I want to get all kind of attention. Let's see. Good That's Lord. Those 6 plates she was talking about.
That ain't no joke right there.
I'm still trying to get 10 pounds.
I made it up to 50.
I did 45.
When I was like regularly going to the gym a couple of years ago, I had made it up to 50. My goal was to do 100. For me, that's a lot, but that was my goal. And I would do.
Who wants to?
3 sets of 10 reps doing that 50. I mean, yeah. My legs was hurting, but I did it.
Who want that smoke? We ain't worried about looking muscular. We got goals, baby. We gonna hit the stage and win these trophies. Forget all that drama. That's old. She got a husband. She ain't trying to impress nobody. Shit, Cedric is. Listen, she already secured. Shoot. I'm gonna give me some muscles because shit, ain't nobody trying to secure me. So I might as well get muscular hell and look cute on the stage too. Shit, I want to be cute too. I'll be cute too. I'm gonna get
she's really sculpting her body. Like she's working the right muscles so that you don't get funky in the wrong places.
Look, I didn't even know you had a muscle by the elbow. Look at that.
You had a muscle by the elbow.
Oh my God. It's promote the sister day, baby. There it is. Get some if you want some. Tell your girls out there they need a person to train and hit a sister up or whatever. This is straight up uncovered. Let me show y'all how I get this done every month. She probably not already been to the gym. There go to meal prepping. She ain't playing no games. She meal prep for real. She get in the kitchen. She make all her little meals. Yeah.
We were talking about the thing that I was trying to remember was I can go into being hypothyroidism. I can go into hypothyroidism, and that will cause more bleeding. So that is something that all of us should be careful of, because the thyroid has to do with how everything is processing through your body and your kidneys. And so if it's not active enough, it's hypo. If it's overactive, it's hyperthyroidism. So that we have to watch out the balance for us especially regarding our menstruation. I just wanted to make that quick note. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
You're fine. I'm just showing off. Good morning, Deshandra. I think she just jumped on.
So, good morning, Deshandra.
Look at this.
Warrior Queen.
Warrior Queen cutting up. This is just three weeks ago, y'all. Just 3 weeks ago. Yep, I got them bands. My trainer has them bands. She not playing with it. It's like, you know what? Let me show y'all how we get down. I'm gonna work it. So this is what she's talking about as far as her physique. You can see, and I'm going backwards, but you can see from the ones that I showed earlier, how much she's grown. Look at this photo, and then if you look at the ones, the one where she's at now, man, listen, that's work. That's work. How she got all the definition has changed. You know, she got them abs popping. Forget y'all out there.
Gorgeous.
Okay, Cedric. Good morning. Yeah, oh, did I let her in? Oh, snap. Hold on. I let her in. Okay. It can't. Okay, try it again. I'm sorry. It didn't come. What did I do wrong? I'm messing up. Try to get back in, Deshaun. I don't know if I accidentally hit the button or not. Try it one more time. I need you guys to go out and vote. Okay, that's what we need you to do. We need you to go out. We need you to vote.
Matter of fact,
Meta Lady Goddess Angie said, Sister Angie, talk, I think she said, it's helped to add iodine to address the thyroid.
Great.
You know, I had went, somebody had told me about iodine. I think I don't know if I was buying the wrong thing.
Because of the salt, because if we stop the salt, then, I mean, we want to get iodine from, well, I had a friend that kind of didn't agree with this, but you also get the iodine from salmon and certain fish. But you guys could check that out as far as not having to have it from your table salt, because we want to transition away from the table salt. The rock salt doesn't have the added iodine. So then we have to find where we get it from natural sources.
Hip is a helpful source of
iron.
Yep. This is Cedric. This is her husband, a veteran. Cedric also does, I'm not sure she has it on her page, some of the work. Let me see if it's on this page. But Cedric also, he makes, he's an artist, so he hand makes earrings and things of that nature. I've ordered product from him. Let me see if she got some on the page. She does a really good job. But you can see as I go down, you can see where she came from, like, for real. She's done an amazing job in the gym and whatnot. So we just want you, I'm just showing her off. She's my sister, and if we don't word them out, if we don't promote one another, who will? So I won't, look, you can see the difference. Look, this is May 2018. Okay? This is 16.
Amazing.
This is 2016. I don't think y'all listening. This is 2016. And I think this is 7 weeks ago. So look at the difference. Oh my goodness. It could be done. I'm ready. It could there she go. It could definitely be done. Come on, sisters out there. You wanna transition them bodies. Maybe you haven't lost your baby fat. Maybe you just kind of just haven't really figured out how to make that transition. There you go.
Now the COVID-25 is for real.
COVID-25, honey.
Yes, Lord. That COVID-25 is for real.
Look at this.
That's what I need to get rid of. Whew.
she's putting in the work. I'm showing you. It's 2016. And look at her now. Look how lean. Look at oh my goodness. Y'all think you can't get rid of your little stretches from your baby? Look at that. What's up? Good morning, Jashandra. So she's on. She got in.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Queen.
Angie, I was just saying I love your smile. You have a beautiful smile.
Yes, don't she?
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you.
She be showing out on us, so.
Yeah, I work out. I work out.
Hey, them muscles are important, girl. Even in the face. Yeah, but if anybody's looking, to do training, I do it online. Everything is set up for your online, your meal plan. The
keep talking. I gotta go back to the bathroom.
Okay. The exercises are tailored directly for you. So whether you have bad knees or a bad back, or you don't like something, I try to work around those things, because the thing is more so not for you to do what someone else is doing, but to give you something where you're going to be consistent. Right. I think that was Cheryl. I'm not sure if that's Cheryl on the other end, but she was saying that COVID-25, so many people have gone from working to an office to working at a desk. We're sedentary, so you're sitting more, you're not getting up, you're not taking breaks, you're not doing those things. In addition to that, a lot of people are eating very bad, and people think people exercise just to it's not just for the physical health, it's for the mental health as well. Exercising is a way to deal with stress, anxiety, and depression. A lot of people are not admitting those things, but we're closed up in our homes. We're not seeing the people we love. We're not having that social interaction that we're used to. And those three things are an onset, and they attribute to weight gain. And people don't realize that. It's not just the not eating or what you're eating. It's also those things that we internalize in our bodies.
Yes. That is
so true. So true. It's Janisa Destrandra. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you feeling?
I'm getting there.
All right, girl. Get you some fish oil and some greens, and drink you some tea and all that good stuff.
Yep. That's what I've been doing. So
yeah, I know, Angie, I don't know what you guys were talking about. I guess about menopause. One thing, I think one thing we don't talk about too as women, a lot of times, a lot of women, I think I want to kind of touch on this. We only hear about it from the famous people and stars, the endometriosis and the fibroids.
Oh wow!
There hasn't been a proven fact, but I mean, we need to look at what we're eating and how we're treating our bodies. If you're dealing with that as well, we only hear about it because of Cynthia Bailey on Real Housewives of Atlanta or somebody famous, but regular women are dealing with that every day as well. I know I heard a story, I think day before yesterday, a young lady, she hasn't had the opportunity to have a baby. She's dealing with those two things. She's had to go to multiple surgeons where the surgeons have even opened her up, stitch her back up, and said, we can't do anything for you. In this scenario, she's dealing with something that I personally have a history of dealing with. It's called a frozen pelvic. So she's at the point where the endometriosis has attacked her female organs, and they're now attaching to her uterus, her intestines, things like that. So ladies, if you're dealing with endometriosis and uterine fibroids, you need to get into a good obstetrician that can guide you through that before you get to that state, because we don't want to talk about it, but once you get to that state, the sad part is a hysterectomy is the option that you're going to have as a final result. Because when you get to that point, your ability to get around when you're having that cycle and things like it's just unbearable. So if you're dealing with endometriosis and uterine fibroids, do not allow it to go unchecked. Can't stress that enough. I mean, like that story, I mean, like I just heard that like day before yesterday, and it was like, wow, somebody else. But like I said, nobody talks about it unless they bring it up on Real Housewives of Atlanta or some football star wife.
Can you repeat? Wait, can you repeat that? Because many of the veterans' sisters came from the desert with that issue. I need you to repeat. I need you to repeat that, and I need you to go slow this time.
Oh wow.
Yes, like yeah, that's I just got diagnosed. I didn't even know.
That's my point.
I just got that, and the lady when I did the ultrasound, and I tried not to get emotional because I was hot. I think I could. I was so mad. She was like, I don't understand why nobody never did an ultrasound. Whatever. But anyway, so I thought I had missed it coming out the desert. And I promise you, probably over 90% of my friends who deployed have either already had hysterectomies or some type of surgery. So I thought I had missed it or whatever. And boy, in December, and so most people, even I think in December is when I found that mess out, and that's when I just kind of would, whatever. But anyways, I say, wait, what?
Yeah, it'll.
What the hell?
Depending on.
Yeah, can you repeat exact what you just said and then go just a little bit slower? And Angie, if you got something to add in reference to how to deal with whatever's going on, because there's a lot of veteran sisters, y'all, you would not believe, and that junk, I know it hit me mentally. I was hot. I was like, wait, so I can't have no babies? Oh, I might not have. Wait, here's the who? Oh, you want to take it all out? What you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know this. I don't know what the hell stage I'm in. I was so pissed. I'm waiting. I think I go to the doctor next week or whatever to go and figure it all out. But yes, you need to say that again.
Man, I can do a whole show on this, Mo.
Oh, can we do it? Can you block me in on a Wednesday then?
Yeah, we can do a whole show on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just give you like an overview. I'll try to slow it down. With endometriosis, now there are two different things. The endometriosis is what, if you have both, they feed off of each other. And I'm not a doctor. You can check with the doctor. I've been through it personally. So I'm not telling somebody else's story. This is my story. They feed off of each other. Endometriosis and uterine fibroids, they go unchecked. They go unchecked because we do not push for people to do their research. We do not push the medical people to do the things that are necessary. If you're having very hard periods, if you're having clotting when you're having your cycle, if your stomach is growing and you're not pregnant, you need to push that doctor that you're going to see to treat you. They're the doctor. But what I was saying is endometriosis and uterine fibroids, they go unchecked. When they go unchecked for so long, you get into a stage where, especially with endometriosis, it's not the fibroids that does this. The endometriosis is like the blood lining. I might not be explaining it correct. I'm not a doctor again, but it's like the lining and it's like vessels and all of that. So those things begin to attach itself to your organs. So our female organs, like our uterus, our fallopian tubes, all of that, it should not be attached to our intestines, our bladder, our stomach. But what begins to happen is when you get so bad off with endometriosis, that endometriosis is like a cancer and it spreads inside and it starts taking the endometriosis and attaching it to your organ walls. And when it does that, a woman will get what is known as a frozen pelvis. You can research it. You can look it up. You can ask Shobi. A frozen pelvic is when your uterus has grown so far out and wide as it can in your body and it's attached to everything else. If you get to that state, you will have a hysterectomy. It's just a matter of when. So if you are dealing with those things, you need to get with a good OBGYN. I have been going to my OBGYN for probably 18 years now. I am fortunate. I was able to have a son, and I was told on the first onset I would never have kids. I have gone through 3 surgeries before having my son. Then when you have a child, you have to have a cesarean. You don't have an option. Then I had to go back, and before I did a final hysterectomy, I did a partial. So I had 2 more additional surgeries. So what I'm saying is, if you are dealing with endometriosis and uterine fibroids, do not allow it to go unchecked. I know, and I can't say this enough, Tranisha, Angie, and Mo, I have nothing against the reality shows, but we don't make things become an issue unless someone famous mentioned it. It's women every day that's dealing with this disease. I don't know, Angie, if it's something they can do in their diets. I found mine, like if I would have known then what I know now, maybe I could have slowed it down. I don't know if the birth control pills aid in it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you need to get a good OBGYN. Like I said, women think they'll never have kids. I'm a walking example. It's not off the table, but you need to get a good plan. You need to get with a good OB. You need to be educating yourself. You need to see what you can do holistically, but don't let yourself get to the point where it can't be turned around, or there you can't slow the growth of the fibroids and endometriosis.
Wow. I know that this is a lesson to me. I don't know a lot. I don't know anything about it, except I know a lot of my young friends, I can't say a lot. A few friends recently have had to have hysterectomies. So it's when I hear young people in their 30s going through hysterectomy, it's like, it hurts me to hear it, So no, I don't know about it. I know that Dr. Sebi had some nice supplements that help with things like fibroids and something like Maya. He has a product called Maya that I believe is great for women, and it provides us with the different things like iron. It has a good source of iron, natural iron. But I don't know like about endometriosis to even add on to it, but I definitely can check some things out and do some research.
Yeah, I mean, the endometriosis, I think the fibroids is not the thing that, and this is my personal opinion, just I lived with it for years. So I don't think the fibroids is what leads to that hysterectomy, because the fibroids are inside. Most of the time, they're either, you can have uterine fibroids, or you can have fibroids that are on the outside of your uterus or attached to your fallopian tubes. Endometriosis is a different beast. So once you get that, that's just like, I'm not endometriosis free. I still have endometriosis on my urinary tract line. But my doctor told me he decided not to do it because while I was in surgery, he would have had to contact a urologist to take my urinary tract line apart and put it back together. And he said it was too risky.
Wow. I know that, wow. Yeah, a couple of people I know had hysterectomies because of very, very large or painful fibroids. And I'm not sure if they had endometriosis also. I can't answer, but yeah.
Yeah, because see, normally with the fibroids, they can go in and they can remove those. And most women don't realize, like, if you want to have a child and say you go have that procedure and they remove those fibroids, during that time, that's the best time for you to be trying to have a child, because everything is clean.
Right.
Everything is clean. So, yeah, it's bad. I was in my early 30s.
Wow.
Luckily, I had already had my son. But I can't stress enough, if you get a good OB, that obstetrician, the first option would not be a hysterectomy. That would be like your end all be all last result. Like, me and my doctor talked about it. He didn't even want to do it. I waited a few years after I had my son, and I was like, this is it. I'm done. I was like, this is too much. I can't function. Like I said, Mo, we can schedule a Wednesday. I'll send you a time. We can do a whole show. I'll answer questions. I'll relate to women on what they're going through. Some of the things that I've gone through, people wouldn't even believe with it. Like, so, I'm just saying, even when I was pregnant, I still had it. So I say that, like I say, to say, don't, we pay the doctors, is all I'm saying. Don't go in there if you know you go to the doctor and you have fibroids and you only been going and they just diagnosed you and it's only been 3 months, and they're like, hey, we need to do a hysterectomy. No, you need to find another doctor. You need to run. I'm just saying, if that's the first option, you need to run. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we pay the doctors, and I don't think we're at that stage where we fight for ourselves or we advocate for ourselves. But if you don't feel like that physician, especially if you're dealing with those female diseases, if you feel like that physician is not giving you what you need, don't be embarrassed and don't feel bad to go somewhere else. Ask a woman who's dealt with it. Who has she gone to? Who has she used? It's just like if you shopping for a handbag or a pair of shoes, you're not going to buy them because you like them and they $500. You're going to shop around. Do the same thing with your doctors, because I can't stress enough, it's your health on the line. And endometriosis and uterine fibroids, again, I can't stress this enough. We don't talk about it. We don't mention it. We talk about it hush hush in the corners, but if it's on Real Housewives of Atlanta or somebody famous is talking about it, then it's important. This is important now. So just get yourself checked and get you a good doctor.
Honey, you definitely what did I do? Hold on, messed something up. You definitely opened up a much needed conversation here, because I know I'm just now finding out that kind of information. So yeah, when I heard that, I was like, "Whoa, let me hurry and get back up in there." Or whatnot. Yeah. So we definitely have to do that. Yes. So get me the date. Again, you guys, make sure you go to Instagram, Deshandra Brown. Support. Click the link. You can vote. One free vote every 4 days, right? Let's get the sister this 25K. And on the cover of the magazine, you guys can see what she's doing out there. Let's make it happen. We gotta be there for one another because it's important. Man. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, my mind went somewhere else now.
Things I don't know any about these things, but I was, for some reason, my head went to isometric exercises. Mm-hmm. Deshandra, do you have like some isometric exercises that are good for your womb and your uterus? We used to do some comedic yoga, but what do you do as far as
you could do I haven't really found anything because that's like internal, right? So you're not gonna have anything. It's gonna be more so like finding things like when you are going through that time of the month where you can still exercise and be comfortable.
Okay.
Because sometimes you're in so much pain. I do think some things I can't describe it. Like sometimes you're in so much pain, you don't want to do nothing. You don't even want to get out your bed. But it's like finding something, like even if you're dealing with that, because a lot of women will use that as an excuse why they can't exercise. It's like, oh, I'm hurting so bad, I can't even get out the bed. But what can you do?
Wow.
You know,
I didn't start having pain during my cycle until I think going through the menopausal stuff or premenopause. I'm telling you, I don't know which stage I'm in because nothing stopped yet. but I know I get like the pain before. And one more thing to add about regarding pain is like fish will actually extend the length of the days of your period too, Monica.
Wait, because what?
Fish. So if you're not having it very fresh, like right out of the sea, it depends. Your sources have to be, where you know that you're having fish that was just caught. Because fish, once it dies, it takes longer to digest dead fish than it would fresh meat. You understand? Or dead. It will take longer for the fish because it's smaller, because the fish is smaller and it decomposes faster. So when it decomposes, There's no enzymes left in there. So as it decomposes, it's dead in your body, and it releases a lot of toxins and things like that into your body. So that when you're having your menstruation, your body is releasing all of the toxins, cleaning everything out, preparing you for the next time you're gonna, for your next cycle. So the more toxins you have, the longer the days will be of your menstruation cycle. So I remember I would eat fish almost every day, salmon, even salmon specifically. And I would have it every day because at my job, I used to work at Goldman's. At my job, we used to have a beautiful cafeteria. Oh, God. And they made the best ginger salmon. And I would have that every day. And then I remember one day my period was like almost 2 weeks long. I was like, why? And when I went to Sacred Woman, Queen Afua explained about the fish, and that never happened again. I just, keep small portions and don't have it every single day. And then be careful who I'm buying fish from. So, yeah, I just had to say that too.
Yeah, y'all know I've lost words.
Your body is talking to you,
Yeah. Yes.
And your nails tell you, your hearing nails, hormones tell you a lot of things. And Mo, as far as we were talking about hair and like dryness or whatever, the tea trio is gonna help you with that, and the sea moss.
Better.
Yeah. And that it's you'll never see a dryness again like that once you're using that.
Yeah, I noticed my skin hasn't been dry, or whatnot. So yeah, I didn't know what was, I don't know. I'm going with the flow and I'm learning. I am definitely learning. And I think that this is a part of, sharing information with our young girls, women, like you all mentioned, Chandra mentioned, that the conversation that's not being had, and how to either precaution or how to go through the journey of healing and monitoring, and who to go to, who to talk to. This is like probably one of the most type of conversations that should be shared amongst women, because you don't really get it. If your mama didn't know and your grandma didn't know and nobody talked about it, or if they did and they didn't share it, or something they didn't experience and you didn't get it, then you in that world alone. And that's another place of depression, anxiety, moodiness that comes along, because now you don't really know what to do. You got to diagnose, or some physician has shared information about this may be going on with you, and then they give that ultimatum, this or that, and you don't know, and you make the decision. It's probably why the young girls, the 30-year-olds, having hysterectomy, because they wasn't educated on the precaution or the measures that they can take to help them, some of which Deshandra just spoke about. And or they just really, I would say this to a lot of females is with the second opinion and seeking advice, don't rush the process of healing because you're trying to check the block for somebody else. What do I mean by that? A lot of of us have significance and husbands and things of that nature. And so because you want to get back intimate, you rushing what you need to be doing to stay intimate. And so those decisions that you're making, you got to make sure that that's conducive for what you need in life. And that you can, that you have time to work on what you need. And psychologically, to me, that's where the quick decisions come in my opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, that sometimes it's just a matter of, okay, while I'm not going to be able to do this with my boo, because I have to go through what I'm going through. But then at the end of the day, if that person is not understanding and can help you through the process, then you don't want to make that quick decision. Because I know when she said, I said, what do I need to do? And she's, she told me where I was, what was going on, what stage I, probably was at, and all that great stuff. And then I said, okay, now tell me the worst case scenario. I need to know the worst case scenario, and I need to know where I'm at now. And when she said hysterectomy, I was like, whoa, surely there's something else good going, like push pause, let's go back to stage. Okay, I know the worst case. You tell me what I need to do. So worst case is not relevant right now. Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work, and get with who I need to be and take those precautionary measures.
You made a great point, Mo.
Yeah, you talking about in reference to doing it for
somebody? Rushing, like time spans, because that's what I'm saying. When you get on a plan, it takes time. And you made a great point that significant other, that person, that they got to be patient, because they got to go through that process with you. And if they're not willing to go through the process with you, then you need to be checking some other things. But that's a whole different conversation. I mean, I'm just saying, like, my husband was there every step of the way. Like, it was like, hey, this is what we got to do. We got to take these shots. We got to do this. We got to do that. Because, I mean, you're getting on a treatment plan, so you got to, it's a lot. So you made a great point.
Yeah. That whole covering, you already feel like you in a lonely state. That's devastating news. I don't know about to another sister, but that kind of stuff is devastating news. Even if you already had babies or whatever, it's devastating. And to know that, you have to go through procedure, because when you're growing up, you come from your adolescent to teenage years, young adult life or whatnot, and you live in life. You're not even thinking about having a life-changing event such as that, and how to go through it. And I think what's important, so like being a student athlete and being able to take care of yourself, I think I took care of myself better when I was a student athlete than I was a soldier. And mainly because the military has this concept: if I didn't issue it to you, then you can't have it. Right? And so being put in these deployed situations, things of that nature, and not having access to certain things and debris and yes. And I knew Tasha was going to end up texting me, because this is an area that she has to deal with as well. She said, because when you're going through it, I believe you go to a grieving process. Yes. Listen, we get this conversation. Yes, Jashandra, this is one, it's an emotional one. It's one that kind of, developed mine. But so that whole 30-day, when I first found out, when they first did that little diagnosis or whatever, I cried. I was like, oh no, you ain't know what to do. Now I'm gonna tell you the responses I received, right? So I had just like shut off, and I had some stuff I had to do. So people was looking for me, and I didn't care about that, because I just thought my whole world in it. I already feel like this, like the last year I can actually get pregnant. So I was like, oh hell no, she just ruined my dreams. Like, I just knew I can make this happen. And so I was in the VA parking lot, and they were calling my phone, and I answered the phone. The first guy I answered the phone for, they said, okay, so take it all out. Oh, I cussed so bad. I was like, this mother, just tell. I said, do you know I'm a woman? You're talking to a woman. You're not talking to a man. This ain't the type of information that you just. It's like telling me to just go shoot myself. I'm on the verge of suicide, and you like, okay, pull the trigger. And I was so mad. I just cried. So the next conversation, I said, I need to speak to somebody who gonna, I called my mama. And I called and I think I called a couple other guys or whatever, because I just wanted to hear their opinion. I was listening for comfort, so to speak. I was listening for comfort, and so that's important. And that's why I brought up the whole significant thing and having that support. So I looked for comfort, and so I spoke to a couple guys, and they, there was a little bit more soothing or whatnot. What you're gonna do, how you gonna do, all that great stuff. And I was like, okay, reach out to the doctor. But yeah, that, man, listen, this is yes. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Again, if you guys just tuning in out there in social media, I appreciate you for joining. I'm on a 60-day challenge. My sisters are here for support or possibly even doing the challenge as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share the video. Many of the guests who join me on these early mornings are putting out some very good health information, health and wellness, things to really not go on a diet. I think Deshaun did it yesterday, but a lifestyle change. And I'm already seeing or hearing that the more mornings we come on, the conversation of health and wellness grow deeper than just me getting up, doing 15 squats, eating oatmeal and sea moss, drinking my water, but also sharing the type of information necessary that could aid to and assist to this journey. So I'm definitely greatly and appreciative for the sisters and the brothers who come on and share, because I think that this is going to help many people other than myself kind of understand what's going on in their life right now. I said this before. I used to say this in the military, that when some people have some people, when some people start to change, people always talk about, they say, oh, she changed on me, or he changed on me, this and whatever. I used to say, are they having any kind of medical issues that they know of? Maybe they need to go check some out, because sometimes when people just do an automatic change on you, a lot of times, in my opinion, something medically has either they've just been brought awareness of, or they don't know, and it's causing the chemical imbalances, causing them to think and behave a certain way. And my confirmation to that, really, when Angie spoke about, giving her sons their nutrients, or, the different vitamins, things like that, through their food, and how they behaved, and when she kind of lack on it sometimes, how they behave. And I was like, wow, if we just kind of pay attention to human behavior, a lot of times it's contributed to either what we have going on.
That's true.
Who's that? Justice? Hey, good morning, bro.
Morning, Justice.
Peace, peace.
Yeah. So you're agreeing to the fact that, with eating, pricing, what you go, those type of things are, because I think Chandra just said, I think you just said something in reference to, we're not working out just for physical health, but mental health. Because if say that, what you just said,
right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. But like, we're not just working out for physical. The physical is the bonus, but the mental, the stress, and the anxiety and depression, people don't realize it. Like, man, we'll do a show.
My take on that. I mean, if you have a cheerful mind, depression is not like a normal thing to say I work out for that. That shouldn't be, even in our head. I'm not saying it doesn't help. I agree with the sister, but that should not be a part of why work out.
Just us, but for some people, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just us for some.
I agree with you, sister. I said agreed. I said that.
But I don't want that message to get lost, because during this pandemic and right now, people are dealing with stress. They're dealing with anxiety. They're dealing with depression. A lot more people are turning to medication. They're blocking people out, and they need an outlet. That's just like how Angie said, how you and Angie agreed on, like with the kids. If they're not eating right and stuff like that, they eating too much sugar, they acting out, they acting all hyper, they having temper tantrums, they losing their mind. It's true. It's the same thing for people that's dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. They need an outlet. That exercising sometimes, because that's just like, for example, I ride motorcycles. I don't ride right now, but when you get on that bike, the only thing you're worried about, you're not worried about anything that's going on in your life. You're not worried about what somebody think, or this job or this project, or you're just worried about staying safe. So the same thing with someone that's dealing with stress, anxiety, or depression, when they go in there for that block, and it has to be something where you say, I'm going to go work out. I'm not going to answer my phone. I'm not going to talk to anybody. It gives them, it's sort of like a meditation. Everyone don't meditate. So some people need that avenue of exercise.
I agree with you, sister, but my take is, I mean, you should try not to get to that point, a lot of it, the food cost is there too. So I'm saying is the cost of it need to be addressed, not you do what you want to do to get yourself to there, and then you figure the way out. Because that's not
Oh
going to help
yeah.
you, right? So that's not going to help you get rid of it. That's what I'm
No,
looking at.
but
Yeah.
no,
It's
but
just-
it's not always the food. I don't want people to get caught up on it's just their food. Sometimes it could just be in the world we're living in now is totally different. Andrew brought up the stuff about fish and her going to Queen of Fur. I finally got the book and read it, but I wish I would have had that information before. So I can't do anything with that now, because of where I'm at. So what I'm saying is it's not just the food.
I'm not saying that
all
either.
deal with
Hold on, Justice. We could go. We
we
can.
all deal with things in a total different aspect. So my thing is, when it comes to our health and our well-being, it's not just the food, it's not just the exercise, it's a spiritual, mental, and physical component. It's a triangle. They all go hand in hand. So it's not just the food making them feel bad. Sometimes they have something going on, and in their mind is bad. So it doesn't matter if they eat good. If their mind isn't good, they're not going to be healthy.
I had to get active. I had to get active. And it's probably because activity is what I used as an outlet to release stress. So when I was coming up as a child, being sheltered and all that extra stuff, basketball was the only thing I had. So it was an activity, and that's what I did. It was, when I was in the military, we ran every morning, so I had an outlet. When I came out and the knee, all that joint pain started kicking in, I danced. And so when I no longer could line dance, as a release is when I recognized depression, anxiety, moodiness, isolation, this, that, or whatever. And so I didn't want to eat. And so even though it could probably be a source that gets you there, that's not a source that you turn to when you get depressed and anxiety kick in. You don't want any of that. You don't even think. I know. Well, let me back it up. I can't speak for everybody, but I know at the stage that where I was in, I was not eating. I had stopped, and I didn't stop eating because I was trying to lose the weight. I stopped eating because I didn't realize that I was depressed. I was going through anxiety, and it was because this medical stuff was kicking my butt. And for me, how I dealt with issues, it was through activity. But what happened was I used to tell myself, okay, I can't have more than one issue at one time because I can't do it. If I could get to a basketball gym, I was in there because I knew that if I was going through it, if I got on that court and I could play it out, that was a wrap. I forgot about what I was going through. But when I no longer could hit the basketball court, when I no longer could go to that group fitness class, when I no longer could line dance, and I was homebound, so to speak, with the wheelchair and all this extra stuff, trying to figure out just how to maneuver, just how to get from the bed to the bathroom, just trying to figure out how to get from the bathroom down to the kitchen because I was hungry, because I hadn't eaten, because I couldn't get to, because I was in so much pain. Let me be real transparent. My issue, and this is why I can lean more to the exercise piece than the food, even though the food I've noticed now is a great source of me being energetic and being able to get to the exercise. But at that point, I wasn't. Well, I am now. I'm getting there now. I'm 6-7 days in, but I wasn't there. What happened was I was going through the PhD program. Shanice and I was in the PhD program, and I kid you not, y'all, I never not finished an academic degree or license before. In 2013, when I had finished all of the coursework. I was in my last class, and I noticed I had took orders to Seattle, Washington, out there in Fort Lewis. and I noticed that I had started to develop more joint pain in my hand, and more of my hands had started to swell. So my right wrist, if you could look at my right wrist, you'll see this bulge out right here. This is where in Iraq where I first noticed that I was starting to have an issue. But the left had started to swell my hands, and so I had gotten through, even though I had started to be getting late because I was in so much pain. I had to run hot water on me in the mornings just to kind of like get moving or whatnot. And I was like, oh man, I think I was coming. I probably had like 2 weeks of class remaining, and I knew I had to go into my comps so I can write the dissertation. And when I got home, so I left Seattle and I came home, and I was like, and I remember calling my friend Katrina, and I was like, I'm at the end, it's dissertation time. I know I'm gonna get this PhD. I'll be Dr. Lamb very soon. And one day, everything just was hurt. I could barely hold a pen to write. I couldn't type. I had gotten like maybe 10 pages of the comps done. It was horrible. And man, you talk about eat. Hell, I couldn't even get up to go eat. You talk, it was no acting. I was in so much pain, but I was like, man, if I could just move a little bit, just get a little bit of going. But it hit at a point. So of course, needless to say, I'm not Dr. Lamb. It lasted just a bit too long. But once I was able, it was so bad, y'all. I would leave I had a slider door. I would be on the floor trying to maneuver whatever, and I'll leave the slide. I would fall asleep. The door is wide open. It was crazy. I was put myself in a very vulnerable situation, but I was in so much pain. And I took an administrative out the first time, the second time, and I had to tell the administrator, I said, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. I'm not even, I can't think. I don't know what's going on. I was going in and out. I just couldn't function, and I could not finish that PhD. I finished all the coursework. Here it's been almost 8 years or 7 years, whatever. And I was so disappointed. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I didn't finish. Like, I was killing that program, and I didn't finish. And so I said, at some point, if I could get back active, I can release some of this stress of dealing with this medical problem, and I could go. And I knew I wasn't so far along medically, but it was such the littlest thing. Y'all, is this littlest thing is drinking a whole lot of water and eating properly to try to diffuse the inflammation but my mind was gone. It was gone. So when people, and I'm smiling and doing all this extra stuff, but I was timing myself. I was literally timing myself. If I came out, I said, okay, if I have my aces on right now, my second ace, the third one dropped off, but if I had to go and do anything with Katasha or Chanisa or anything like that, I would time myself like, okay, I got this many out. And you knew when it was about to be a problem because my whole facial expression changed. I just turned to the wicked witch of the west. I thank God for those ladies, love them dearly, because man, my mood would change. Like, it would change. And at the time, I don't know if they knew it or not, but it wasn't because I was just feeling some type of way or I was treating them some type of way. It's because I was in so much pain and I was masking it. I was masking it to the point of where I could. And then I would get out of the presence. And then I would just kind of just turn off. And then I just call and act like ain't nothing ever happened. But they never treated me, like I was the bitch I was acting like. They was just like, okay,
All right. I'm able to talk now, sisters. Is it okay?
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start off with Dr. Sabier, right? He told a story where he met a guy. He was mad mentally. Always upset with his wife, upset with the whole world. They try to treat him, give him medication, continue to be upset. And I'm meeting with Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi said the cure was in the gut. It was his stomach. So what Dr. Sebi did is give him some herbs to cleanse his stomach. And ever since he did that, everything now became wonderful, joyful in his life. So when I talk about the food, that's what sustains life itself. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you don't have the proper food, you would not be living, period. That when you were in the womb of your mother, or some put people in incubators or whatever scientists do, but we could use natural from the mother. That's what sustain you. You don't exercise, you don't jump up and down, you do not none of that stuff helping. That food, that the umbilical cord is broken, you're dead.
When you get, I think what we're saying is that if you don't got access, in my situation, if you don't got access to it, then you have to do what's next and best. And for me, it's activity to get.
Since I'm getting there, that's what I'm getting to all of that. But I have to start from the essence of it.
Right.
Food is the essence. The fuel is the essence. If the battery don't have electricity, it's not going to do nothing for the remote, for the car, whatever the case is using for. That's the essence of it. So once you correct that first, or try to correct that first, most of the depression, all that, yes, people are stuck in the house. I agree with that. Some people do not know how to handle it. I agree with that. But the gut is the key to most everything that happens to you. Besides the outside world, when, you might have people dying, you letting it get to you. So, of course, now there's something called self-mastery, but we can't control our own emotions. So that's the next thing you have to work on. I'm not against exercising, but what I'm trying to get at is, if you go out there, shoot gun, if you run, if you exercise, these are all the same principles. Meditate. That's not the actual stoppage of cure of the situation for it not to repeat. That's just a 24-hour thing, or it depends how long you do it, 5-hour thing. And that moment, then when it's over with, then what? Reality hits back again. So the goal is to deal with your inner self, deal with the reality of why it's happening, and still exercise. We don't drop exercise now. We don't drop running. We don't drop playing pool and whatever the case is you like doing. You keep those stuff. But then why is you keeping those things? You have to still deal with self to say, why do I allow myself to feel this way versus letting something to supplement for that situation. That's the importance of it to me. I exercise and I agree. A lot of weight off. But I've been looking at myself, why am I having this weight? Is it necessary to have this weight? How do I get rid of this weight? So when I exercise, I don't have to worry about letting a weight off. But all these toxins I have to be around because just earning the cleanness anyway. You're able to let those toxins out of you, those acidic stuff out of you. That's one of very big benefit of exercising, to let those things out of your pores. First, you just have to say, well, I'm just doing it. It's going to help also with my stress. When if you could find a way not to deal with it, yes, we got bills. Yes, we got things to deal with. Yes, we allow it to stress us. And the key word is allow. It don't have to happen that way. We could pay bills without being stressed. It takes no very tedious situation, time and energy and effort to get to that point in your life. But you could do it. I believe in you. You could do that. You could get to a point where you have a $500 bill to pay. You could pay it without stressing. Because that's a part of the situation. Because you're living there, you got to pay it. But if you allow it to stress you, why are you paying it? That's something you personally allow to happen. You personally allow it to happen. Because it ain't like you don't have to pay the money or pay the rent or pay the light unless you don't want any light or know where to live. You have to do that or take care of a cousin or brother or sister that may be ill. We choose, at the end of the day, we choose to do these things. We choose to eat. We choose not to eat this. But Monique was talking about she didn't want to eat. When she's stressed, that's going to happen a lot because the digestive system is going to pretty much shut down. You're not going to be thinking about eating because you're worried. You have anxiety. Then you have to go back. Why this happened? Like I said earlier in the show, with cancer, when cancer happens, sometimes be because of stress as well. But you can never get rid of that cancer doing all the treatments, maybe the exercise, until you say, you know what, why does cancer happen? Maybe I had a divorce and I just never got over it. And I got chronic stress and I kept it going. So until you go to that source and get healed from that source mentally, get healed from that, everything else is just a temporary treatment until you get that healed. That's what I'm getting at. And I'm not knocking exercise. Do those things, but let's go to the source and heal that completely first. So we don't have to worry about depending on the exercise versus let exercise do the thing we're supposed to do.
Right. Angie, I think Angie, right before Deshandra. Andrew, you were gonna chime in? Okay, she must be done. Go ahead, Deshandra. I think you had your hand up. You put.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I hear everything you're saying, just us. I just think there's a triangle. And the mental is at the top. So I don't know if you've personally dealt with stress or had an anxiety attack or been depressed. Like Mo say, you've ever been depressed to the point where somebody have to come pick you up off your floor or something like that. When you go through things personally, I think exercise, I think what Mo is getting at and what I'm getting at is sometimes exercise is that outlet for the stress source, but it also gives you a time to reflect on yourself. So it's not just you're going in there to run to forget about your troubles and forget about your worries, or exercising to run to forget about your troubles or forget about your worries. Most of the time when people are doing that exercise through that hour, that 45 minutes, that 2 hours, or however long they dedicate, that is their time where they're mentally reflecting internally on how, why, and what can they do to be in a better place, how they got there, what they're going to change. So the exercise is the outer work, but in the inner, they're doing the work. No one sees it. And Mo has alluded to that a lot. Like she said, she's been to the point where she didn't want to exercise. She couldn't get up out the bed to go eat. But now, as she's exercising, she's now reflecting in her like, hey, I know I don't want to be here. I got here because of XYZ. This is what I have to do. I know I'm going to get up and do this in the morning. She's not saying that on a daily basis or anything like that. She's taking that mental internal meditation and she's doing that while she's exercising. But the exercise is the outlet to keep that drive and that energy going. Yes, food is a part, but the mental is, I know people that are at tip-top shape, they eat great, all of that, but their mental is jacked up and they can't even
gone. And and even though so the eating, their body, their body and their whole livelihood is, they just ain't at the dead state, but mentally, they gone. They, it's like, okay, how do I get you out? How do I get you back up and going in reference to getting, being able to think? And even though you can think, you're thinking too much, or there's too much darkness going on in there. And that's why I may mention, one of the things is that many people don't have access. And I think what probably needs to be addressed is, what is the simplest meal or the simplest way to start to get the gut under control? I'm not disregarding anything you said, but where I'm at with the conversation and thinking back to where I've been and how I journeyed, it was a matter of, how do I get access to what's proper? I think that go ahead, Justice. I'm gonna take this call. Go ahead.
All right, now as far as eating good, I think we should eat the God food. The God food, eating good. Again, I had a conversation yesterday. Mentally, we think, okay, this is what we want. This is going to be a good eating. That's fine. I got no issues with good eating to that person. But the God food is made for the body. It's what's good for the body. God food ain't worried about how you feel, what tastes good, what you think is right, what you need to build muscles, what you need to do this. That's not God food. God food is what is designed for this body. So when we eat what's designed for the body, a lot of that stress and stuff is not there because it starts there. We may not know that because it's eternally. Outside stress is something different when you might have someone who got in an accident, someone who probably died, a pandemic happened, stuff like that. But we have to first start off with the inside of us because we can't see what's going in there. So we're not going to contribute a lot of those things in there. We're going to just say, well, you know what? That person just stressed. That person just this. Some people walk and just pass out. Don't know why they pass out. Might have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, but they not contribute these things to what they're eating. A lot of people do not want to take responsibility and look at what am I doing? Are we actually dealing with the God food? Or are we just doing what we think as our regimen, as our trainer tells us what to do? Yes, I'm eating good. Okay, but what are you eating? Carrots? Peanuts? What are you actually eating? That's not means you're eating good as far as the body concerned and the God food for the body. You may be eating good from the mental and someone who designed a regimen for you and they say to you that's eating good. And I'm not knocking them. That's them. I'm fine with that. But I'm talking about what I would strive for. Me personally, it's up to everyone else as an option to go for the God food that designed for the body. The manufacturer makes a car, it know what type of oil, it know what type of gas, but guess what people do? They put a lot of aftermarket stuff. They decide to redesign the whole car. And when the car ain't running right, oh man, I could get my car fixed. But that's not from the manufacturer. They know how this car is designed. So when I say the God food, that's the example I mean with the car. So that's, to me personally, is eating right. To me personally, eating right is different for everybody else based upon what they're trying to get in their life. Because some people want to redesign their body, want to get extra weight. Some people want weight. Some people want more muscles. Some people want less. Some people want a different figure. That's fine. But God food is designed perfectly for the body. And
okay, sorry. So Mo question was, how do they get access? What is God food and how do they get access to God food? I mean, if that's what you're saying, so where do they find God food in the grocery store? The average person goes to the grocery store.
As I said earlier, starch is definitely one of the key components to know that it ain't God food because it's a chemical.
So tell them what is God food. What give a few examples. They need to know how to access this so-called God food.
You say so-called. You say so-called God food. All right. So you asking for a list? You pretty much saying.
She said access. So what is God food? We talked about God food. So how do they access it? The average person that's listening to us right now, they go to the grocery store. They shop at Walmart. They shop at Publix. They shop at Winn-Dixie. They go to the farmers market. So what are they picking up when they go to the grocery store? That's what the people need to know. The so-called God food.
Okay. Anything that's natural, non-GMO. That is
the average person don't know. Hold on a second.
Hold on, Deshandra. Okay, I got your stuff. Hold on. I think Melanated Goddess. She just jumped on. Katasha just jumped on, and I know Melanated Goddess. I think she's in the psychologist field or whatever. So I want the sister to chime in as well.
Peace. Good morning, grand rising to everyone, and peace to everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel. Yes, this conversation on like mental health and stuff is definitely in my field, and it was interesting. I wanted to just highlight that, and I think it's kind of like, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? I think that for some people, them doing increasing their exercise makes them feel better about themselves and makes them make better choices about the things that they eat. And then for some other people, when they start to eat well, they feel better about themselves and now they have energy to exercise. I think that for most people, eventually those things go hand in hand, right? It's not so much of you shouldn't need to exercise to deal with your mental health, deal with your diet, or you shouldn't rely only on diet. They kind of go hand in hand. But I also wanted to highlight that when a person exercises, there are certain hormones that are generated that improve your mood. Like that's scientific, right? So yes, just like when you eat certain things, They make you feel lethargic. They make you feel tired. They make you, they have a negative impact on your mood. There's certain things like when you, I think it's endorphin, that's what it's called. So once you exercise, endorphins are released. That is just a positive benefit that you get from exercising. So I just, to me, it's really not an argument. It's more so of, what type of person are you? Are you going to be that person that will concentrate more on your diet, and then once you start feeling better, you're like, hey, I'm going to go for a walk. Oh, I'm going to go buy some resistance bands, or I'm going to do this Pilates video, or whatever it is. Now that you're feeling better, you're actually more in the mood to exercise. Or it could be the other way around. I like to exercise. I enjoy it. I like enjoying the challenge of pushing your body and seeing that from one week to the next, you're stronger, or, your endurance is improved, or you're not as out of breath as you were before. Like, I like the physical part of it, and it actually does something for my self-esteem and my confidence and all of that, which is more mental. So I think you can get both out of it. That's my input.
All right. Am I able to talk, Mo?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I agree with the sister said. I know some people. I've seen people, have sickness and got healed, because I've been around a lot of that, and I've mixed herbs myself and seen it, and I've helped people as well too. And I know a lot of times it depends on what stage you at in life. If you, a firm person, it's easy to get up and go exercise, but hey, it's going to help, release the endorphin. You could smile and release the endorphin. There's so many other things you could do to release this chemical. You can't supplement food. Food is it's another type of food to eat, or I can go to Planet Mars and eat that type of food. But there's so many other things you could do to get the same reaction from exercise. You could meditate. You could jog. There's so much things you could do differently in that. But food is specifically planned for one thing. There's no other food as you got modified food that they tell you to eat, which is no good to eat technically, but some people eat it, have nothing against it. But there's no supplement for the food. There's supplement for so many different things for the body to be worked out. That's why I'm trying to go with the core first, and then move to the different aspects of things. I'm not against exercise. I'm with exercise. I love exercise, and we need exercise with it. But we first have to go at the core of it, which is the food, and then you move up, because you could be overweight now. You're very overweight. You're not gonna feel like exercise. Sometimes when you bend down, you want to fall over. But when you start to change your diet, take some things to flush you out, get you to feel better, because a lot of things in your stomach. It's so important to understand the stomach have a very strong influence of the brain. The brain is not independent of itself. The brain is not independent of itself. The stomach influences the brain heavily. If that stomach is wrong, the brain have some problems. If that stomach is wrong, the brain have some problems. So we start to work now. If you're very overweight and you could exercise, I 100% endorse that. I'm all the way with the exercise, 100%. But sometimes it's very difficult to do that when you just feel like the whole world is on you because of the weight you have. So if you start to change your diet to aid you to the exercise stage, which I'm 100% with, it's going to help a whole lot, because you're able now to flush some of that stuff that been on your intestine, just sitting there probably for months inside your colon, probably for months. There's something called Noble Flex, which is a flaxseed very good at scraping off that stuff inside you and letting that stuff out. There's many other doctors say we sell as well. I see Noble Flex is very easily to get. So that would help scrape some of those things off. And man, if you take that, you're gonna be a queen or a king. If you never thought you was, you're gonna figure that out. You're gonna be on that toilet. That's some serious stuff there. So I know that stuff works. So when you get that stuff out of you, you feel like you 15 pounds lighter. You know how much of an improvement that makes? You be like, whoa, I couldn't believe this. You may even at that point say, let me go exercise now. But if you feel the world is on you, exercise is not going to be the number one thing probably on your mind. You think about all the stuff that's going on. And I do encourage you.
Let me ask you, because I do not disagree with the food, but what I want to know, for though I'm not speaking to the well-endowed, financially stable individuals who could get where they actually need to be quickly, just go to the grocery store, buy what they need. I'm speaking of the individuals that's in their home right now, and for whatever reason, financially, they don't have access to the majority. What in their house right now, refrigeration wise, that can benefit them health wise to be on that journey, that to understand that food will ignite them to where they need to go? Because I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I can tell you, not just from my experience, food is far-fetched, and we need to know something what's simple that I could go right now that you say that everybody probably have in their refrigerator or that cabinet to aid them into getting to where you're speaking that we should be. Because I can tell you for a fact, that's not gonna, it doesn't happen like that. Not for many. The many, I always pride myself for speaking to the lowest level and those individuals who are not where most people are that are in my circle. And that's why I do the same thing with business. I don't want to speak to those who've been in business 5, 6, 10 years and got it together. I need to talk to the initial starters, those who are unaware, never been educated, don't listen to YouTube and the us's out there, haven't been getting this information every day, going out their daily lives. Now they've hit this brick wall. They never heard a conversation about the gut, cleansing and eating right and things of that nature. But boom, they ran across the live today. What do they, and the reason I'm asking you, because I'm getting the inboxes. What can they do to get that initial start so that they could get that mental space that you speak about, that you say that's supposed to start first from the eating process? What would you suggest or recommend? And I would ask that question to everyone on the panel to answer. What would you recommend, like right now, that could be a simple start from somewhere, whether you're starting from the physical side of it, you're starting from the mental side of it, or you starting from the eating, indulging in particular food? That's what I want to know, because sometimes I think when we have conversations, they're advanced and the early starters are lost and don't know where to go. And I know that's hard to fathom for many, that people would actually be in that type of space, but we are. I'm one of them. If let me tell you, if I did not have my trainer, and I stated this, my first trainer, Antonio Session, Men Empowerment Nation, shout out to him, and Dynamic 3D, David Gerald. If I didn't have them like dedicated to helping me get to that regiment, what's gonna happen? So they had to take me to the simplest step. So that's what I want you to say in reference to food. What is something that they can eat that gets them there? And then after you, and can we keep it like 3 minutes, but no more than 3 to 5 minutes each person, all the way down. So you, Just Us, Deshandra, Melanated Goddess, Angie, and I think who else we have on here, and Katasha. As a matter of fact, wait, before you go, Just Us, let me hear from Katasha really quick, because I know she's probably in between work or whatever, and she jumped on because it's something she heard, and she had wanted to voice an opinion on. Katasha, you available? Okay, so maybe she's not available anymore. Okay, go Just Us. Yeah, Just Us, Deshandra, Melanated Goddess, ING, and then Katasha will probably be back in it at that point. And I'm gonna mute them, a listen in, okay? And I'm gonna put, so when you go, you can go ahead. I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was on mute. I just realized it. Okay, so I'd love to start off since you mentioned three of the aspects to life in the 3D world. I would first start off, and this may not be for everyone, and I'm not sure everyone's path is different. So if you can get here, I mean, some people call it intuition, some call it the sixth sense. Someone say the spirit is in me and moving with me. As the master Jesus was here, he called it God inside him, or he called it the kingdom of God inside you. That's the first thing we should look forward to, recognizing, meaning to get into that knowing stage. It's like you about to walk across the road and you say, well, something told me to stop. Then the car just zoom, and you would have got hit if you kept going. So you want to get into that stage with something you could rely on to guide you, and a knowing stage. Some people say they hear voices. I never heard no voice, but it's like a knowing stage. Why is that? Because when it's time to do things besides eating food, just anything in life, you will know that's wrong, or they call it intuition. You know you shouldn't do that, or they call it gut feeling. Most of it do come from the gut, because there's a flame inside you, a fire inside you is burning in the gut. So someone's telling you, hey, don't do this or go there. And sometimes when you go against that, stress come upon you because you know you should have done it. And stress is very toxic, it's very dangerous to our mind and to our body. The reason why I'm starting off like this is because if your spiritual and your mental is compromised, the food only could do so little because the cells is compromised and the cells has to take in the nutrition. And if you can't take it in properly and the digestive system is shut down because you're stressed, because it's thinking, see, the body do not know what's always happening out there. So they're thinking you're in a fight or a flight situation. So now the digestive system is shut down because they need the muscles. And everything has to go towards the muscles, either to protect yourself or to run to protect yourself. So we have to somehow get to that point first. And again, sometimes if you're really overweight, it's hard to exercise. So you may have to watch a television show. You have to do meditation. If you could exercise, that's great, whatever the case is. But you have to get to that point mentally and spiritually first before you can take in the nutrients on the food. So you need to, now for food in the fridge, the sister was asking, I don't know what's in no one fridge. I mean, that's kind of difficult to say. Where let's say you only have pig. You may only have pork pretty much, and potato chips, and these all consist of pig. And I'm not sure of that, but water definitely I'm sure everyone has access to. Water is very great to drink. It's not even only dealing with dehydration, it's also dealing with no waste products. Because if you have a lack of water, it's going to be hard to go do that number two. Because the body needs that water. It's not going to let that go. So drinking the water a lot helps a lot as far as you go in to let the waste out. If you don't have access to certain things to aid in it. But fruits, I won't say fruits, but then it depends. If you're looking at it from a God product, it has to be non-GMO and non-tampered. Do we actually go out there to the farmers market where they pick natural, non-tampered fruits? I mean, I don't know that. So I'm not sure what's in the person's fridge, but I'm pretty sure everyone has at least water. So water would be good. And if you want to really go into the God situation with the water, you need to get the alkaline water. Alkaline water is the best water to get because it can help align you to make you the alkaline level to go up. Sometimes we have just a regular water that's more acidic. And hey, I mean, if you only got it there, you still got to drink something to keep your blood flowing, to keep the waste product coming out of you. You got to drink something, but I know it's hard and it's difficult. I never in my life was always on this path and this knowledge. I had to learn myself too, man. I was eating whatever and I was doing it by myself. And what got me so convicted is that when I did get into the herbs, right, and I started eating and I started taking in the right stuff, and I'm like, whoa, I saw a change. I felt like I could jump on the roof on top of a house. My mental even got better. My thinking I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, this stuff is real. Like, what are you talking about being a skeptic? Man, hell no, I didn't believe in that stuff, man. I was the one of the biggest skeptic out there. I'm like, how could taking some herbs could make me feel different or could do this? Come on, man. I didn't believe that stuff. But hey, if I take it, right, the sea moss, if I take in the sea moss that has 92 minerals, and this thing start making my skin better, feeding my cells, and after I take, okay, so I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. I take the sea moss, I'm not hungry in the morning. And if I'm not hungry in the afternoon, I say, wait a minute, this thing is feeding my cells directly because you eat for the cells. That's the God way to do it. And I'm not hungry. What am I going to force myself to eat for? I have no reason to because I'm given the right product. Now, of course, we know this is probably not in everyone's fridge. I'm just saying my conviction, how I got there, and I saw how it works. I say, whoa, I was doing it wrong, thinking I have to get breakfast and dinner. No, I'm gonna finish this last part. No, you're supposed to eat when you're hungry. Eat when it's necessary, when you need the energy. I'm done.
Deshandra.
Hey Mo, hey everybody. So for those out there who you're looking to get on the right track with eating, you want to start eating a little bit better. Everybody has in your fridge, check to see if you have maybe celery, cucumbers, peanut butters, onions, bell peppers. For breakfast, if you have oatmeal, that's fine. Most people have kids. You can eat a cup of oatmeal, try to mix it with water, put cinnamon in it. That can be your breakfast. For lunch, you could take a can of tuna. Hopefully it's in water. If it's not in water, if it's in oil, rinse it, drain it, squeeze everything out of it. You can either eat it with a cup of cucumbers, 1 can, or if you have some lettuce, you can make you some lettuce wraps and cut you up some onions in there. For dinner, you can repeat that. Or for dinner, if you have a pack of chicken, most people have a pack of chicken, take it out, peel all the skin off of it. Don't cook it in oil or butter or anything like that. Wrap it in some foil, put it in the oven. Do not use anything with salt. You can use pepper, you can use garlic powder, you can use onion powder, or you can cook it in a pan on low over the stove. Take some of that lettuce and cucumbers, chop it up, eat you a nice hefty salad. Don't put any dressing on the salad. Don't put any condiments on your chicken. That'll be a breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you. And for a snack, everybody usually have peanut butter. Take you a tablespoon of peanut butter and about 4 celery sticks, chop them up, and you can eat that for a healthy snack. Try to get in at least 64 ounces of water. If you could push it up to 84 ounces to a gallon, that would be great. If you don't like drinking water, if you have lemons or if you have strawberries or if you have apples, take those and slice them up. Drop them in like the gallon for the water and let it get cold and just drink it throughout the day. If you drink coffee, to stay away from artificial sweeteners, try to drink black coffee or just add some cinnamon to your coffee. Or if you do use a sweetener or a creamer, measure it out. Don't use more than a tablespoon. No, it's not going to taste great, but it'll get you on the right track. I'm done, Mo.
Bam. I was going to come from a different perspective. I know that like when I started trying to make certain changes in my diet, giving up milk, right? And at that point I was still eating regular cheese, but giving up milk was like my first thing. Like I just was like, I'm not a cow. I'm not going to drink this milk. And I started looking for milk alternatives. That has been way over 10 years. I don't even know, maybe about 15 years now that I started with rice milk, and I went to almond milk. I've had almond milk, macadamia milk, oat milk. I've made my own almond milk at the house. I think that just getting into the mindset of eliminating some things and then substituting them for other things is an excellent way to go, right? When you don't want to start changing your eating by just taking out everything and then you feel like you're just going to eat a piece of cardboard because you're starving, right? So slowly but surely integrate other things, new vegetables. Like I never was a person to eat asparagus now I love asparagus, so just trying new vegetables and cutting back on some of the starches. So if you're used to having a heaping portion of rice on your plate, just scoop a lot of that out and just have more vegetables than the rice. If you do eat meat, as the sister said, trying to take off the skin, take off the fat, an air fryer is another way to go where you won't be using oils and so forth. What else? Definitely with water, and water was a big thing for me. Right now, I'm sipping on some carbonated water. I find that carbonated water, I even like. I know it's weird. I like the taste of seltzer water. It's just different than just drinking flat water, but you're still getting, you're still hydrating yourself, and you're still taking in water. So be creative. And one of the rules I've heard is that do the majority of your shopping around the edges of the grocery store and not in the middle. So most of your food should be produce, your meats, your dairies, or stuff like that, and not so much of the things that like are in boxes and cans. And you'll kind of be on a good path. That's all I got. Katasha, are you back? Okay, Sister Katasha's not there. Sister Angie, do you want to give your dietary like if people are just now starting and they are wanting to eat healthy from what they have in their cabinet, what advice do you have for them?
Okay, I could piggyback off of the alkaline versus acidic, and one of the ways that we could alkalinize our water definitely simply is just to squeeze some lemon in it. Also, we could, like, a banana is alkaline, so we can have bananas. They're different for Jesus. I always say the name wrong. Jesus. We have different types of bananas. So I know you probably get the bananas with the seeds, the ones that taste like greens, but bananas are alkaline. So we could, if we incorporate that in our juices, then we could, that can help us if we're not worried about too much sugar. The natural sugars from the fruits we can digest much better than the processed sugar, the manufactured sugar. All right. So sometimes when they go, you're diabetic, you can't have sweet fruits. They're really talking about the GMO fruits. I have to stand with Justice on that, because those fruits being hybrid, it takes a little more for your body to digest. Your body, it takes more insulin to break it down. Then you start to have issues with the insulin, and then diabetes can develop from that. So I know it's hard to transition from hybrid foods to organic foods, but that's what you want to keep in mind. What does your body digest? What can it break down easily? The more that it takes to break something down, especially something without enzymes, live enzymes to digest it, it will cause you to overproduce the insulin. And that's what happens with pancreatitis. I get that when I start to eat badly, I start to have issues with pancreatitis. So, and because diabetes runs in my family, so I do have to be very careful. And also, it's a lot of factors that play into it. I have what they call the sickle cell trait. So my circulation is already compromised with that. So because my metabolism would be slower, because my circulation is compromised, it will take more to digest anything that's not organic. And we have a lot of issues. I mean, of course, it's a Black community. It's an issue in the Black community. They like to say, but we really have been dealing with a food apartheid. and it is a war. And the part of the war is fighting to change our diet. That's part of the transition. We have to start taking small steps. Keep lemons, limes, keep those in your house. Keep garlic in your house. Not to use every day because certain foods affect your nervous system. If you're gonna get coffee, get good quality coffee. Get some gourmet coffee. So you're not having it's because the cocoa, what do you call the coffee bean? Because the coffee bean is, comes from a plant, the way it's grown makes a big difference, and the way it's processed makes a big difference. So if you want to do coffee, get some good coffee beans, and you could do coffee. Matter of fact, you could even use coffee if you're gonna do a cleanse like an enema. Coffee is good to stimulate your organs, your liver, spleen, bladder, and it's a milder way of cleansing your system than to take laxatives or anything like that. People still do. If anyone is taking laxatives, that means what you're eating is not food. Food by definition is something with nutrients in it that your body can absorb, right? Anything else, anything with no nutrients in it because of the way it's processed, manufactured, it's not food. So we have to change that mindset. And it is a process. Trust me, I have my lemons, I have my kale when I can get it, when I remember. I have the kids, they get cold cereal still, and that's something I have to switch away from the cold cereal. But I try to get them the stuff with, the cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for men. It's even better for men. And because there's a lot of foods that are attacking men, especially, right? And that's another topic that we can do for another day, because that would take forever. Because men are definitely being attacked with the food that we're eating. They cause imbalance in hormone production. They're getting, of course, more feminine, more female hormones because of more plant-based manufactured foods. So we have to, it's a war. So it's something that we have to get serious about. And when Justice speaks adamantly, it's because he understands that it is a war. And we are being weakened by it. We're being affected by pancreatic cancer. We're being affected by prostate cancer. We're being affected by breast cancer. Diabetes, we're getting hit, the hypertension, we're getting hit the most by it. And that's all I'm gonna say for now, because I can go on. That's it.
Did Katasha come back? Okay, maybe she's working. So does anyone want to give feedback on or add to the knowledge of what someone else has put out?
Mo, Melanated Goddess mentioned vegetables. I know most people in their cabinet now, they don't have most people, if you can buy frozen vegetables, frozen is better than bag, fresh is better than all of it. But if you have canned vegetables, they can rinse those vegetables, like take them out of the can, like don't just take it, pour the can in a pot and cook it. They can actually rinse those vegetables. Like if you have a colander, open the can, dump it in there, rinse it like 2 or 3 times, then cook it. And that it won't, of course, it's processed and packaged in the can, but it will help to get some of that, like the juices and stuff that they kind of use to, like seal the can. It'll kind of help to take some of that out and don't add any salt to it at all, because it already has a form of salt in it. So that's for people who may have basic canned goods like string beans or like canned collard greens, stuff like that. Rinse them a couple times, then cook them, and cook them in only water, and then add, like I say, like some onions, bell peppers, like some garlic powder, stuff like that. Nothing with salt.
I definitely agreed with some of the things that Angie said. With the lime, alkaline the water is very good to do. I've also heard. No, I haven't done the research in a while, but even with the can, there's a lot of like pig. So they say it's pig sperm inside of it to keep it preserved, and they put a lot of pig things from the pig in those canned foods. For some reason, they put a lot of pig supplements in a lot of things. So I guess they want us to stay closer to that pig, which is one of the most filthiest animals in the world. So I understand the sisters are washing it off and cleaning because that's what most people just have. But I'm just saying, just be mindful of what also is in there as well. So that way you give a person a better choice on what to do. If they choose to do it, that's fine. I have nothing against it. But also know what's inside these things when you do it. Like when you buy food, know if it's a GMO or not. Like my thing is not just take a product off the shelf, whether it's on the outside in the grocery store or on the inside. Let's not just take products off to put in our fridge to say we buy it. Versus take the product, read the product, see what the description is, what's inside of it. And I know this probably is tedious to do that because there's all the information, but we talking about your life. Let's look at it and see what exactly was there. Not only the big words that they put up there. Let's actually read and see what's there. I mean, I think that helps a lot what you put inside the fridge. Because you don't want to just only buy meat and just put body parts in your fridge. Because that's what it really is. You buying the pork and stuff and chicken, they body parts. They just label it as food.
I don't know if this was brought up, but I would just like to state the obvious. I think that I'm at a place now where I can definitely have time to research and to go to different markets and to buy certain products because I'm in a better financial situation. And I think that when I wasn't in a good financial situation, GMO to me would have sounded like that cost more, and I wouldn't have been able to get it, right? So I think that when we look at why Black people tend to be at the top of the charts for all of these different diseases, hypertension, diabetes, and so forth, we also have to look at in proportion to our numbers in the population in America, how much of us are actually beneath the poverty line, right? And I think that the fact that those two things are correlated is important. Like, even when I want to go, I can spend $7 on blueberries, right? like my family member who has 4 children is looking at me like, that is some bread, that's some juice, that's some, hot dogs, hamburgers, like $7 on just blueberries. That's gonna last 10 minutes with her 4 kids, and she just cannot afford to be able to buy. I'm buying flax seeds and chia seeds and this, and I got special milk and I got special cheese. I got my vegan mayonnaise, veganade. She like $7.99 for that little bit of mayonnaise. What are you doing with that? So we have to, when we're looking at like why people are making the choices that they're making, we have to like look at all of these things as explanations and really try to find ways that someone who is low income, I think the first step is just cooking more. So you may still be eating GMO food, but you're not going to the Chinese man and getting chicken wing and French fries and, all of that kind of stuff, right? You cutting up your own potatoes and you frying them in your messed up oil and whatever. At least you cooking the food, you're seasoning the food, you're in control. I learned that from my grandmother. My grandmother would not eat outside food at all. She would call it outside food. I don't eat outside food. She didn't care if she boiled some noodles and sprinkle some cheese, put some cheese on it and eat it in the house. Crackers, tea, whatever. She not eating nothing from outside. And she lived to 92 years old, and she was healthy. She wasn't on no pills and all of that kind of stuff. But everyone don't have those same type of values, and they're going out there and they're getting their McDonald's, they're getting their Taco Bell and Burger King and all of these places that the food doesn't even spoil. You know what I mean? Like the food doesn't even spoil. You buy some French fries and a month later it's still like a French fry, no mold or nothing. So if a person is cooking their food, to start there, they go to an appreciation, where they can appreciate seeing the different colors of the peppers and the onions and the fragrant, like all of that is like, to me, the foundation to get to the place where you are, Brother Justice and Sister Angie, where your kitchen now becomes your medicine cabinet. That's way down the line, right? Like when your kitchen becomes your medicine cabinet, which is ultimately the goal, But so I just wanted to bring the whole economic piece into it, Sister Mo.
That's why I call it the food apartheid, because especially like I get public assistance, I get food stamps, and if I go to the store, I'm probably gonna be buying I'm getting honey. With my stamps, I'm buying honey, I'm buying fruits, I'm buying olive oil in the glass bottle. My honey just now costed me $12 just for this little bottle of honey. Like I got a raw organic honey, because this is what it is. When we're buying the foods that have a lot of additives and fillers, the foods that's in the middle aisles, as y'all would describe, these are giving us empty calories, and we do not get full by these foods. It's a mindset. We get orally fixated on the foods that we're eating, and we have this addiction due to our oral fixation. It's a lot of different messages that just eating, chewing, getting the saliva going down. It's a lot of different processes, different signals that it gives to our bodies, and our bodies get addicted to those foods. So what actually fills your body and makes your body feel satisfied is real food. So even if it seems like a smaller amount, it goes a much longer way than if you're having food that is totally processed. And then as far as canned foods, the canning process cooks the food. So you have to be careful with that. The canning process cooks the food already. So now when you're gonna cook it more, it's just making it that much harder to digest the food. Just something to think about. I'm not saying, and you just gotta know where your food is coming from. Part of the fight in the war is to educate ourselves how our food is affected by the way we distribute it, the way it's manufactured. That's it. Like real food with nutrients, your body feels satisfied much better, much longer than things that are just not food, that just seem to fill you up for the moment, but then you're hungry the 10 minutes later. So that's why we're also affected with the obesity.
I totally agree with what the sisters say, because if your stomach fills up, at that point, it's going to tell you to stop eating. It's going to tell you to stop eating, so you're seeing full, but you don't get the nutrition that you need for the cells to get you energized. So I look up the word food, right, as a noun. For the definition, say any nutritious substance that people or animals eat or drink, or that plants absorb in order to maintain life and growth. Keywords was to maintain life and growth. So to fill up your stomach is not maintaining life and growth. To be able to get the cells the nutrition that it needs is to maintain life and growth. So that's pretty much what the sister was saying. And that's what I've been pretty much preaching all this time. You got to maintain life and growth. The way you think don't mean it's because you fill up your stomach is maintaining, but the God food is to maintain life and growth. And that's the key to the whole process of it. Making the stomach big and say you're full. Oh yeah, my stomach hurting, man. Yeah, I eat a whole lot there. Now you tired. Now you got to go to sleep because it got to shut you down and try to get the crap out of you. But if you eat something to maintain life and growth, You don't get tired because you eat the fuel. It's energy. You ready to do those exercises. You ready to run, do whatever you need to do throughout the day. That's the goal to it. And that's how you kind of know if you're eating good or bad food as well. If you got a lot of energy going on, you know something good you're doing. That don't mean it's 100%, but something in that is giving you energy. And that don't mean it's good food, but at least something in it is giving you energy versus something that's weighing you down and making you tired.
That's you can hold on. Let me get Melanated Goddess. She has to go to work. Sis, I appreciate you jumping on the stream. You don't know it means a lot. I hadn't seen you in a while. There go my trainer, y'all.
It's about that time. It's about that time. Yes, this conversation was just awesome. I mean, like everyone having different perspectives, but really on the same goal. I just wanted to just it came to my mind too. I don't live too far from Washington, D.C., and there's certain parts that are a little bit more like very, very densely Black populated, and they are in communities that you will call food desert, meaning they actually don't have access to the grocery store. Like the grocery store, they wouldn't have to jump on a bus, and take a bus trip for 10, 15, 20 minutes just to get to a grocery store. But what they do have is plenty of liquor stores and plenty of what they call carry-outs, where you get your chicken wings and your French fries and your pork fried rice and General Toast chicken and all of that kind of stuff. Or you get your sub sandwiches, the little hot sandwiches they make, or pizza. So like they don't have, if anyone knows anything about like DC, in what they call Southeast DC, is really like areas where they're like food deserts. And I just feel, I don't live in that community, but I just feel really bad that, like a lot of kids that won't get to see like fresh tomatoes, like that wasn't different. That's different from my upbringing where I saw like all kinds of vegetables I was exposed to them, eating pumpkin and stuff like that. Like these youth are growing up with like a very, very limited exposure to vegetables, and what they know is bread, meat, and potatoes and stuff. So just bear in mind, like if anyone wants to get into opening their own grocery stores, they want to know where the market is, get you a grocery store in Southeast DC, and I'm sure there's other places like that. And I peace to everyone, and everyone have a good Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday.
Thank you. And you're welcome anytime, sis.
Thank you, Sister Mo.
To see you in couple years. So yes, it's good to hear from you. Your point.
Appreciate it, sister.
And I definitely, when Chandra give me the Wednesday date, I definitely want your presence in the building.
Okay. Thank you, Melanated Goddess.
Okay.
I appreciate everything.
No problem.
Dropped here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Peace, everyone.
All right. Peace out.
Y'all.
Peace. That was great.
Yes. Deshandra, peace. Thank you too for jumping on, and definitely, oh my goodness. Listen, you guys, this show is really packed with a lot. And I don't want to prolong it no more because I want sisters to be able to view this, because we gotta have to revisit some. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen to the stream, and I'm gonna highlight some things that we definitely need to elaborate a little bit more on just that particular topic, because we really unpacked a lot. You all are phenomenal. I appreciate your knowledge that you have provided and the content to this stream. You've elevated my whole challenge to a whole nother level of achieving. And I look at the celebration in the background, and I greatly appreciate it. And so just off the foundation of what you spoke on, just as this is where the conversation for the many of us in the audience that I want to reach needs to be. And many people, where are you from, Justice?
I'm originally from the Bahamas, but I'm located in Florida right now.
And where? Okay, you're in Florida. Okay, so right. Being from Louisiana, and I'm sure a lot of people in different states can probably attest to this. There's information or conversation that are had in different states that are not being had. And I could tell you 2016 is when I became aware of a lot of good things about life, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's just socially or whatever, right? And that's when I ran across Sinetta TV. Shout out to Sinetta. Shout out to Amara Squad, Brother Brother Reggie, Garfield, my battle out there. When I came across their information and came across all of you, because that's how, with the exception of Katasha and Chadisa and the other Tasha, is where I've opened up to what is more important. Food was definitely one of those ideas. I didn't do it initially. Still the struggle. It's not a struggle. I just wasn't doing it, and I'm working on implementing it more. I'm gonna say that.
Right.
And then information as far as, okay, this is why it's important and why it's important in life, from being active to from relationships, whether it's socially, whether it's with a significant, why all of these things are important that can live to healthy lifestyles,
Yes.
all inclusive, all inclusive.
Yes.
And I didn't get, and that's why I wanted you all to elaborate on the question from a very minute foundational perspective, because I know my journey and I know when I got access to it. Because I think somebody mentioned in their response about what they had access to. I think you may have said it just as in reference to the type of foods, because if you're unaware of a lot of Dr. Sebi's information, or a dietitian's information, or someone who eats holistically, and all the different words that we adjectively throw in front of what eating right is, if you don't have access to someone actually speaking that, and you see them doing it, then that's far and few in between in a conversation. That's far and few in between in a daily journey. And even being an athlete, that those conversations aren't being brought up to the
Right.
masses. And so I'm very appreciative of what you guys are contributing to these streams, because I think someone said it earlier, Deshandra, when she was speaking in reference to the feminine issue, if you had access to the information before reality shows, that she would have been able to deal with it a little bit better, or been able to channel it a little bit better, or even to the other sister who's dealing, right? And so that's why I wanted to bring it back to foundational. Like I said, I'm well over time. And I got a lot going, a lot to do. Y'all already know. But again, man, greatly appreciated. Let me just shout out my brothers again from Sinetta, who's connected me with everybody else in the world. Garfield, brother from the Amara Squad. Oh, Sinjetti, I wish Tasha was on, because she would speak to, Sinjetti is in the medical field, and Sinjetti, when Tasha was diagnosed with a certain deal, Sinjetti was the closest person I knew in reference to the medical deal that could speak to the issue. And man, he didn't just motivate it. A lot of the stuff that you all talk about now, Sinjetti spoke with Tasha about. This was like in 2017, 18. And immediately after Tasha was pregnant, it was so funny. It was so funny because she started implementing that whole food, all the food deals that Sinjetti told her that she needed to start doing, and withdrawing some things out of her life, as far as like you talked about the deodorant and stuff. And y'all, kid y'all not, within 30 days, Tasha was pregnant. I'm sure her husband was happy. It was so funny. I was like, oh man. But at the time, we didn't connect that to healthy eating or what it was doing to the digestion or the body. We didn't connect that whole food deal. So it takes these conversations to bring awareness to that. So I'm sure a lot of women and men out there who's having these struggles don't really know. And that's why I was telling you, just as that whole food deal, the importance of it, the conversations we have it now is bringing that awareness to people. So the smallest minute information that we think is natural or should come natural, like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Why you don't understand that? Well, I didn't understand it, and many of my friends didn't understand it.
See, sis, and the thing is, because I grew up in the islands, it was
I
natural.
was gonna go there. Wait,
Yeah,
let me
it's
finish
nothing
my
to think
story.
about. It's nothing to learn. It's
Right.
life. It was our life.
Right, that's where I was gonna go. That's why I asked you where you was from. Angie also is a descendant, or either she from or she's a descendant thereof. The battle stand behind me. Same thing. Many of us who are in America who has not had the close knit to Caribbeans or motherland Africa or places like that outside of America, we have the raw deal of just the jump. And so to fathom that understanding, like you, like it's natural, and I'm like, shit. To me, we was killing hogs in the background. I think the closest to nature we got is that fish, or whatever. But and the home growing up the farmland, but everything else, you know, in Louisiana, everything from the rooty to the tooty was good, honey. We was killing and still killing coons and rabbits and blackbirds and this, that, or whatever, and just eating all kinds of crazy concoction. I can pull some out of my refrigerator right now that I shouldn't have, and my trainer just probably don't know what it is. That's why it's still there. But it's not mine. It's for Katasha. Oh, not. But what I'm saying is that, you know, a lot of this information is not second nature to us. And so when we fight against what's right or what should be, or the process of the start, is not because we know better and we just not doing better. It's just that the area where we chose to start was the area we thought was right and what we grew up with. So it's embedded in us.
Right.
So we have to undo and then rebuild. And so that's going to be a lot. And so I want to end it right there. I don't know, my trainer want to say something to you guys before we go. And because we got work to do. Mm-hmm.
My mission statement is: when discipline is creating your life, determination will direct you. All my life, I always wanted to. My mom's and my grandmother.
We can hardly hear him though.
My mom's and my grandmother always told me to read Proverbs. You know, so I don't know what your believer is. I don't know. Proverbs did a lot for me growing up. You know, we gave me a lot of wisdom, gave me a lot of understanding, and I just pushed myself to the limits. I always push myself to the limits. So the last thing I would like to end with everybody is, you know, whatever your level of greatness is, just make sure you do nothing less than that. You know, and just keep leveling up, and know that greatness is.
Just that you have some last words before I rock out.
Yeah, definitely want to thanks again for another great, excellent, wonderful show, Mo. And I really appreciate everyone for taking the time out and their courage to say how they feel about things, because it takes courage to speak up on how you feel, how things is, even though we all have our differences, but it's all of our differences that come together to make this great. So I definitely appreciate everyone's mindset, and we definitely still have to get together on setting up the car deal as well too for the Department of Women, because definitely going to empower women a lot, but they have more knowledge on the vehicles and not to be ripped off and be more safe for them and their family.
Oh, yeah. Give me a date. Give me a Wednesday. All right. Peace out, bro.
When I write, I put my mind, heart, and tears in these beats. I see music as a passion, not a way just to eat. If it brightens your day up, then I give it for free. I'm in a better situation than a lot of people. Doesn't mean that I'm better, nah, we still equal. You having problems, hold on, gotta see you through. Just believe in the Father, cause he believed in you. The love of God is everywhere, and we well connected. Go to a church near you if you need a blessing. Stop stressing, don't let the enemy steal your joy. Praise God anyway if you're unemployed. And the pain that you're having in your lower back,
I know you like that.
God can handle that. And if you worry about your kids and their way they living, speaking to the atmosphere that they all Christians. For the team serving God, I know it's a battle. Fornication is an issue that a lot are having. But don't stop, keep striving, never give up. Just believe in your heart that God is with us. And for the low self-esteem trying to find truth, how you look, what you wear doesn't define you. You find who God made you will start remind you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made times two.
This life it gets hard, so hard I can't pray. Will you and with me to see another day? Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need.
Let's go, Sanaya. That's my niece, y'all.
But you would bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need.
Lord, I gotta give you glory in the way I'm living. Not only Sunday, but I live every day a listener. A lot of people want life on a silver platter, but I'd rather have life the same way you had it. God, I know I don't deserve all of the above, but my sins are forever washed in your blood. I can't thank you enough for all the things you do. Through faith, Lord, I put all my trust in you.
This life it gets hard, so hard I can't pray, but you will bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you will have me, but I know you're all I need. This life it gets hard, so hard I can't pray, but you will bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need. This life is hard, so hard I can't pray, but you will bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see where you would have me, but I know you're all I need. This life is hard, so hard I can't pray, but you will bless me to see another day. Sometimes I can't see
Where you would have me, but I know you're all